Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Joe and I'm here for the live stream watch along of Bologna against AC Milan match that will be kicking off in just about half an hour from now at the Stadio Dallara in Bologna. It is a very important match for Milan, of course. This is the rescheduled game that was supposed to be taking place in December, but of course we had other duties for the Supercoppa Italiana when we played against Juventus. Therefore, this game will now be taking place. It's actually the match that was supposed to be played on round 18, but it will be taking place tonight. And it is a very important game, like I was stating before, because this is pretty much the match in which would close the gap, at least, let's hope, if we get the win with other teams, or at least we could get closer to them, as it would mean that I think we'd be getting three points away from Lazio and Inter, around that range. So it cannot be that bad if we get the win. Of course, we need these massive 3 points. Milan hasn't picked up a win in their last 4 games in all competitions. Actually, we picked up 4 losses in that process, but it's actually 5 games now in which we don't pick up a win if you include that tie game against, I believe it was Torino. So definitely a lot of poor results in that month of January. We've been speaking about this all along, and the start of February wasn't as good as we hoped that it would be. Of course, a very massive month, a month that can mean a lot of things for Milan, a month that could pretty much dictate whether we would be able to make it to the Europa League or not, because we do have some very big important fixtures ahead. Of course, we're playing tonight, then we're playing Lazio, which actually will be taking place next Monday, and then I believe we're playing against Fiorentina as well. So massive weeks coming up, and hopefully Milan can get the job done tonight. I think it would be a very good start if, first of all, we could beat Bologna, and afterwards think about the game against Lazio and Fiorentina. Now, speaking about Bologna, of course, they got trashed against Napoli last weekend, 7-1. I personally was never expecting such a result, but it kind of seems like these things are possible in the Serie A as well. Usually, when you see these trashing results, you probably think of La Liga with Barcelona or Madrid there, usually being teams by these ranges. But we've actually seen quite a bit of results where there were a lot of goals into them, such as the one that we saw between Napoli and Bologna. They're 7-1 win for Napoli. We also saw Lazio Pescara, where that game finished 6-2. So definitely lots of goals. It kind of seems like you're playing a FIFA game, but that is not the case. Now we're meeting a team like Bologna that I think they definitely want to get back into it after that big beating against Napoli. It was a very embarrassing game for them, and I think they want to come back in great fashion and possibly beat Milan to give something to think about for the fans and make them happy once again. So even though they did get killed by Napoli, I still think that they're going to hold it to their own. It's not going to be as easy as it sounds, because it just seems like Milan always finds the major difficulties no matter which opponent they really play against. It's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, they could be playing Crotone and they will still be having trouble sometimes beating teams like this. So hopefully that won't be the case today. Hopefully we do get the win, we do get the 3 points, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter about the performance, but it's the result that counts the most. Now, without further ado, I would like to give my introduction to Pietro. Of course, you probably heard about him for the past few live stream watch-alongs, where he came in and spoke to us at halftime and after the game to give his thoughts. Very good analysis as usual by Pietro. So we will be having this on a game basis, on a every match basis, because I think that it's important to actually have a more interactive session in these watch-alongs, rather than just me speaking and giving my thoughts throughout the game. And commenting pretty much play by play. I think it's more important that I could have a discussion with someone at least throughout the game to share thoughts and see what you guys think as well through the comments. So Pietro, welcome to the live stream watch along once again. A pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
Yeah, all right, Pietro. So we're gonna be speaking about the starting 11s now because there are some changes, as you would probably expect. You know, a lot of people were thinking that there were going to be changes in this game prior to what we saw against Sampdoria. So let's get in the Milan starting 11 first of all. Donnarumma is starting in net. We got Abate, Paletta, Romagnoli, and Vangioni in the back four. Kuchka, Locatelli, and Pasalic in the midfield. Suso, Baca, and Delufeo up front. Now, Pietro, first of all, first things first, Vangioni is getting his debut as a starter for Milan. We hadn't seen much of Vangioni this season. We saw him a bit against Udinese when De Scio came off injured. But we didn't really get a taste of what Vangioni could bring to the table. People were expecting him to play a bit more than he has. And really, I still remember the words from his agent at the beginning when he first signed for us. He said that this is a player that would win the fans' love right away because he's a very hard-working player. And last game against Sampdoria, you know, Montella actually preferred to put Romagnoli as a fullback to Vangioni when we had the option of playing Vangioni there. What are your thoughts on Vangioni today? Could he have a positive performance given that it's pretty much his debut at Milan?
I mean, I sure hope so. This guy, he's a natural left back, and we bought him for this reason, for depth in the squad. We all knew that he wasn't going to come in and probably be a starter, but I think he deserves some playing time. We don't know. Nobody really knows what this guy's made of. I know Montella sees him in training every week, but I think that's good that we're actually playing the left back. I mean, I feel like putting Romagnoli back in the center and putting our natural left back, even though he's second or third behind De Scio and Antonelli. I think it's a good idea that we're putting our actual left back there and give the kid a chance. I mean, everybody I feel like deserves a chance, and then if they prove that they don't deserve that spot, then that's one thing. But we haven't seen anything from him, so to see him in the lineup, I think is positive, and hopefully he can have a positive impact because we really need him.
I completely agree with you, and I'm just happy to see in general Romagnoli being paired up with Paletta again. I think that duo has done very good things for Milan this season, and just to play Romagnoli out of position just didn't feel right last game. We saw Zapata, Paletta making mistakes, and really that's what caused us the loss. But I'm definitely hoping to see that partnership between Romagnoli and Paletta once again coming out strong today. And also, I'm very curious to see what Vangioni can bring to the table. Now, moving on to the midfield, Pietro, I mean, not many surprises. I think, would you argue that this is possibly the best midfield that Milan could field at the moment, where you got Kuchka, a guy that likes playing physical, wins a lot of balls, especially in the midfield, and could also score goals like we've seen this season. I think he scored 3 or 4 goals. And then we got Locatelli, a guy that was rested against Sampdoria, and I believe that his absence was really felt in that game. And a guy like Pasalic, that even though he hasn't had an amazing impact all season round, few people were actually expecting this guy to do good things at Milan. He's actually proved quite a few people wrong. What do you make of this out of this midfield?
Yeah, starting with Kuchka, I like that he's back in the lineup. In my opinion, he's been the most consistent of our midfielders, I would have to say, throughout the season, from our starting three that we've been playing with. He's solid on the right. I mean, he makes those runs up and down, and he works hard defensively. And I like how he tracks back. And that's he's always a positive. It's always positive when he's in our lineup. As far as Locatelli goes, yeah, you're right. The presence of Locatelli was really felt, and that's how much we're relying on this kid. And we need him. We need him to have another big game. And he's been a little bit off form lately. He hasn't been as, in my opinion, as impactful as he has been when he had those screamers against Sassuolo and Juve. And but he's developing. These are mistakes. He made a couple mistakes against Udinese, and he deserves these chances to make these mistakes, because the only way these kids are going to get better, and they are kids, they're teenagers, is if they're given the chance to make these mistakes and learn from them. That's the importance. That red card against Juventus in the Coppa Italia, and that silly giveaway in midfield to start that equalizer against Udinese. So that was something that hopefully he learns from and builds on that. And as far as Pasalic is concerned, I like him. I think I mean, is he like a world class midfielder? No, but I think he works hard. and he gets the job done when he's called upon. Hopefully, he can create something in that midfield because we need something. We need more through the center of the park, like you've been saying, Gio. We're too predictable. I know you're going to get in the wings in a second, but too predictable on those wings. Every time that ball's going to Suso or Deulofeu or Bonaventura when he was in. So I'd like to see a little bit more penetration through the center of the field.
Yeah, completely right. And I think that we were lacking that specifically with Jose Sosa. Now, a lot of people were actually arguing with the fact that, Jose Sosa wasn't the guy that was getting much playing time, and I could agree with that. But when he was given that playing time, what did he really show? What did he do to make the situation better in that midfield? Not much. A lot of times he was lacking in ideas, and I think that's really what threw him off in his games. He wasn't capable of doing much, to be honest with you. I mean, he did have some positive moments, but more than not, they were negative, right? So hopefully Locatelli comes back to that form that we've seen in 2016. At the end of 2016, he did very good things. Of course, like you mentioned there, that goal against Sassuolo and Juventus, probably the highlights of his season so far. But I think he's going to need a positive game here just to get back into that mindset because like many players at Milan, I think, they're a bit... what's the better word I could use right now? They aren't too motivated, or at least they're a bit down in morale because they have lost 4 or 5 games in a row now, and it's understandable. When you lose too many games in a row, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But yep. Milan just needs this win, in my opinion, just to pick themselves up again and start thinking straight, start thinking positive.
Yeah, whether it's ugly or it's pretty, it doesn't matter. These guys need a win. It doesn't matter how we get these 3 points there. Whether it's we kill this team like Napoli did, which I highly doubt, or we come off of a 1-goal win off of a penalty. It doesn't matter. I think winning helps winning, in my opinion.
Definitely.
So if we can get a win today, that's gonna hopefully start a chain of wins like it was doing back before the new year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Now let's speak about the forwards and the wingers especially. We got Suso, Bacca, and Deulofeu, and I know this is really gonna have a lot of people talking about it, and I think you already know where I want to get to. And I'm speaking about Carlos Bacca, of course, the main center of discussion for weeks now, and simply, Pietro, could you wrap your head around this thing? How is he still getting a start with how he's been performing lately? Sure, he's got the goals in the month of January. He scored 3 goals, but he really hasn't been involved with the play. He hasn't been pushing himself to the limit, I think, and simply he hasn't been playing for the team. He has apologized to the team. He has told them that he was gonna take them out to dinner and so forth. But simply I just don't see it happening from Bacca. How do you explain this decision once again by Montella to field him instead of Lapadula?
Here's what I think. I think that by Carlos Bacca coming out, we all know he hasn't played to his potential, and we all know that we haven't given him the service he deserves. This is an old discussion now, but what I will say is that he came out in public and apologized, and I think Montella sees that as a man and as something a man would do. And I feel like he is giving him this start because of his apology and his acknowledgement of his problems. And he's come out and said, "Look, I'm not getting the service I deserve, yes, but I'm also not playing as good as I should be, and I'm here for the team, and this is about the team." And I think Montella really respects that in a man and in a player. And I think that's why he's giving him another chance here. That's truly why I feel. Because if it was for just solely for his form, I don't believe that Carlos Bacca deserves a start. I don't believe Montella thinks that Carlos Bacca deserves to start. I think that because he came out and he was positive in the media and said that I'm sorry and apologized publicly for his actions, and I think that speaks volumes for Carlos Bacca as a man. Now, as a player, hopefully he can prove us wrong today because we need it.
Yeah, I just hope that after this whole discussion, after him apologizing, saying that he needs to do better, he's actually going to show it on the pitch, because you spoke about it so many times. Actions do speak louder than words, and unfortunately, we just haven't seen that from Bacca oftentimes. But I definitely hope that he proves a lot of people wrong today. I just don't understand why he hasn't been really involved with the team lately. A lot of people will probably suggest that a lot of the playing has been done through the wings, and maybe that's why Bacca hasn't been really involved with the rest of the team. But I beg to differ, because I think that if he found himself if he found himself in better positions, you know, I think he would have a better attempt at even scoring more goals. But speaking, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I don't see Suso as a selfish player, to be honest.
No.
So in other words, if it was Suso just trying to be selfish and goal for goal, I can understand Baca's frustrations. But Suso is a man who's always looking to give an assist. And if you're not getting the ball from Suso, it's because you're not putting yourself in a position to deserve the ball.
And you also mentioned it a few times, you know, you mentioned a few times over the past few games at halftime. You were telling me that, you know, simply Baca wasn't crashing the box, or he wasn't, you know, every time there was a cross from either Sus or Deulofeu, he simply wasn't there on the doorstep to either tap it in or at least get a shot on target. And I think that needs to change as well from Baca's point of view.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but now speaking about the wingers, of course, we got Suso and Deulofeu. No surprises there. We were all expecting them both to start. And really, a lot of playing has been done through the wings, Pietro. What do you make? Could they once again be impactful in this game? Or will it be the same old story over and over again? And that is, of course, teams figuring us out, being predictable on those wings, because they always know that we're going to be playing through those wings. Do you think it's going to be a change of story, or maybe we could still imply that type of playing against a team like Bologna?
I think we're going to need to switch something up. I liked when Suso came a little bit more central and gave that ball to Lapadula on that through ball to Lapadula. And again, that came from Suso being a little bit more central. So I'd like to see a little bit diversity from Suso and Deulofeu, cutting inside a little bit more, looking for that through ball for Baca, looking for that through ball for Lapadula, because again, that one chance that Lapadula had with Viviano, and Viviano saved it, that was coming from the center, not from the wing. And I think that if we could just be a little bit more flexible in our tactics when it comes to that, not so predictable, like you're saying, coming in from the wings, cutting in on the left with Suso, putting a cross in. And again, we don't have the tallest of strikers anyway, so our aerial ability isn't, you know, we don't have Ibrahimovic anymore. We don't have, you know, Cavani, these tall strikers, Mandzukic to aim for. We've got Carlos Baca, we've got Lapadula, not the tallest strikers in the world. So I would like to see a little bit more tactical flexibility from Milan.
Yeah, definitely. And also, on that point that you just made, I think it's important to emphasize really how crucial it is to deliver on those set pieces, because I think at times we don't have those strikers like you mentioned, tall strikers, but what we do have is defenders, center backs that are capable of definitely scoring goals, like Romagnoli or Paletta. We've seen Paletta score one or a couple of goals this season. I think we do have good center backs, but unfortunately, our set piece delivery is always pretty awful. I have to agree.
Yeah.
We're never capable of. Yeah, I don't know. We're just never capable of getting any end product from it, and it really frustrates me as to why we're not capable of really getting any goals from corners. It's like every time we do get those set pieces, I'm not even a bit optimistic that they will be ending up in the back of the net. But you know, at the end of the day, we definitely need to improve on that aspect, and I think we've been speaking about that for seasons, and really we haven't seen a change, to be honest. But that was it. That was the starting 11 for Milan. On that note, guys, I would like to invite you to send in your comments on what you think about the starting 11. What is your prediction ahead of the game? Do you think Milan will get a win here, or will it be once again a pretty disappointing result, whether it's a draw or a loss? Let me know exactly what you think in the comments section, and I will be reading your comments in just a few minutes time. But before I do get in your comments, I would like to remind you that we usually tend to set up some objectives for these live streams in terms of, let's see if we could reach certain targets. And per usual, we always try to reach 100 likes on these videos. So if you haven't yet liked the video, please click on that like button. It will help the channel a lot, and the video as well. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, hit on that subscribe button, especially if you're a Rossonero, if you're a Milanista, you're new to the channel. This is the best AC Milan fan channel on YouTube, where we got everything for you guys to stay updated with the team on a daily basis. So thank you guys for that. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. So let's get right into the comments, Pietro. Let's see what they have to say regarding the game, what they have to say regarding the lineup and the predictions. Someone's saying we will lose by 1 or we'll actually win by 5. So it's a very 50-50 game, I guess, for him. Miss Shadow, that is. Not quite sure what to make out of that.
I don't remember the last time Milan scored 5 goals.
I don't either, to be honest with you. Liban Yusuf says, actually I do. It was against Alessandria a few in the Coppa Italia or something a few years ago. Yeah. Liban Yusuf says Milan 2-1. Delufeu with his goal. And Suso as well will score. Animax123 says Milan should dominate the game as they did against Sampdoria and be more clinical in front of goal. And I wanted to speak exactly about this comment here that was mentioned by Animax123. Pietro, our finishing really hasn't been good in recent games. I was actually looking at the results in the past month of January, and very rarely do we ever score more than 1 goal, besides obviously the game against Torino in the Serie A. Other than that, we always scored 1 goal, or we were pretty much kept off the scoreboard because we weren't capable of scoring goals. So a lot of people are saying the problems are definitely defensively, but also offensively. We just haven't been able to score many goals, and I think that is, of course, due to the lack of finishing. Do you think we have a few goals in this team against Bologna? I mean, they did concede 7 goals last game against Napoli, but it's also important to state that before that game, they've only conceded 7 goals in 10 games at home. Do you still think that we have some goals in us today, even though we have been lacking in the finishing?
I think so. I'm optimistic about today. I think I don't want to jinx it, but I think today we're going to get back to winning ways. I really do. I feel like today is going to be the day we're going to get back to winning ways.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like we're going to put 7 on the board? No. We don't have the firing capability that Napoli have.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close.
Yeah.
But like I said, however we get this win, we get it. I think that it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a close encounter. Like I've said before, it's never an easy day at AC Milan, and
never.
we never really kill teams. I mean, the teams that we should beat by 2, 3, 4 goals, in my opinion, we still come away with a 1-0 victory or a 2-1 victory. I just pray that we don't concede first, because Milan is 2 teams. When we concede, it's gonna be hard to get back in that game, and just like that game against Sampdoria last week on Sunday morning, it was tough. We conceded, and then the whole team, the mentality just completely changed, and then it's hard to break these teams down, especially in Serie A, where they sit 11 behind the ball, and they don't. You're not allowed to break them down. So
completely agree with you there, Pietro. To speak about that morning, I don't really want to speak about it because waking up early for that game was probably a big mistake for a lot of Milanista, especially living in North America. But I just hope that we are capable of getting the 3 points, because that's all that matters today. I know that Montella has been speaking that our performances have actually been good. It's just the results are not coming. And I mentioned this even yesterday in the match preview. I think the performances have been good, but there were a lot of times where, we were lacking at times, and the performances are always roller coaster type of performances. It's never straightforward, or it's never really straight downhill, or uphill in that sense. But what I mean, I think that, Milan have to control the game, just like someone mentioned there in the comments. They have to really control the game like they did against Sampdoria, and they have to finish their chances. Because against Sampdoria, we actually had some very, very good chances to score at least 2 or 3 goals. Like you mentioned before, Pietro, the chance there with Lapadula. Yeah.
Sorry, good.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I was just saying, there's no point in hiding this. There is a problem with our finishing right now, and I don't think it's that we have a lack of quality in the finishers that we have. Yeah, they're not the best in Serie A, but they're also not nearly the worst, and we don't have a very good goals for average a game. I think that once these guys get firing again, they're gonna find their rhythm. They're gonna get back on the board. I think this is what we need. We need Bacca to get a goal. Of course, I'd like to see Suso and Delofeo get a goal. But for us, for this team, it's crucial that Bacca gets back on the board and he regains his confidence again, and the team finds him, and it's all about the mentality and the morale going forward.
Completely agree with you on that, and like you said, it's the team mentality. If the team loses, it's obvious that they're going to be down in morale. The mentality is not going to be at best. What they need here is the result, no matter how they get it. It's just going to be important to, once again, being able to say Milan got the 3 points. Milan were capable to win. And it's not only important to the fans because every Milan fan knows the situation that Milan is currently in. They know all the difficulties that they're currently going through. But what's important for the players is to understand also the fans, because I think, many players at times it's just like it's all about themselves. But football culture in general, it's also about the fans. I think the fans come first, and they should hate us like seeing suffering. They shouldn't want us to suffer like this. And it's important, like you said. Go for it.
My dad's a Milanese, and he's been since he was a kid. And he said, I've never seen a Milan like this, where a team doesn't fear to face Milan. Teams used to fear to come up again. They used to see that on their calendar, and they'd be afraid whether Milan's going into their house or they're coming to the San Siro. They would be afraid. And not to get off topic here, but the same thing with Cáceres, how he didn't want to come for money. And my dad's like, I never heard of anything like this. I've seen players take pay cuts to come play and wear this jersey. So I think that this is a heavy jersey to wear, and I hope that the prestige of this club doesn't continue to fall in the future. I think that we need to install that fear into these teams again, and we started off on the right foot this year. Now we need to continue with that mentality. I like what Abate said that one time in the huddle. I think it was against Roma, and he said "Noi siamo in Milan," and in other words, it translates to "We are Milan." And exactly. I think that those words are heavy. We need to instill that in these players, that hey, we're wearing a heavy shirt here. This is a club with a lot of history and a lot of success, and we've got to respect that.
You know what? I think the thing that happened with Cáceres and everything, he didn't want to join because the money wasn't enough. You know what? These type of things, you would have never seen at Milan years ago. You would have never seen any player reject the club just because he wasn't getting 100K more or less. Whatever the case was, people were there to play for the prestige of the club, and then we got guys like Cáceres that didn't want to join because he wasn't getting enough. Besides the point that he didn't play for a year, like these things you would just never hear of at Milan. And I think the prestige, like you mentioned, these are things that need to come back in the team. And the only way that these types of things will come back is if the right players arrive at the club, there's quality players, and more importantly, there's a sequence of good results. There's a sequence of results that will pretty much invite, players to be open to the club, and they're going to be tempted to join the club. But I definitely agree with all those points that you made there, Pietro, and I think that this team needs to have a boost in mentality somehow. I don't know how it is. It's weird because we were capable of beating Juventus twice this season, and then we lose against Udinese, Sampdoria, which were both 13th, 14th place at the time that we played them, and we just weren't capable of beating those players. But let's hope for a different story today. On that note, the players are currently walking out of the pitch, on the pitch, and soon they'll be shaking hands. And the game will be getting underway. Let's get into some more comments before kickoff. Let's see what you guys have to say. Of course, make sure to comment throughout the game. We're always very curious to see what your thoughts are. What you guys think about players' performances in general, and what Milan could do to win games. So let me know all of that in the comment section below. We'll be reading your comments throughout the live stream. Joga Benito says we need money, staff, and players, and for the moment we don't have anything. Do you agree with that, Pietro?
No, I don't agree with that. Of course, yes, we need money. The staff I think we've got in Montella. Look, if Montella could do it with the same group of players in the beginning of the season, bring them to the levels that they did, I think it's more of a mental thing than it is of a tactical issue. Yeah, sure, there's some issues tactically right now, and we need to be a little bit more flexible. But if this manager could come in and do this in the beginning of the season for all the way until December and put us in a I think we were in a Champions League position by Christmas, or just outside of a Champions League position, with the same group of players, I think, like I said, it's more of a mental thing, and I think that we're gonna turn it around. Yes, we need investment for sure, but I don't think these rumors that I heard about Mancini coming in. I don't even like to read these kind of rumors because it's ridiculous. A couple bad results and they're already talking about switching a manager. I don't feel like it's Montella's problem right now, and it's Montella's fault that we're sitting where we are. I think that these players are the ones that step on the field, and it's their mental lapses in the game that cause these issues and not being able to finish. So yes, of course, investment is needed. I agree with that comment, but to change the entire staff and to change the entire team would be a mistake. There's a lot of promise, young talent in this team that needs to be kept and projected to the future.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of young talent that I think we should be keeping. Like I said, I've said this many times. We should keep onto that young talent and just replace players that are not meant to be at Milan. And we all know those types of players: Zapata, Poli, Honda. These are players that need to leave and need to be replaced by quality players. That's really what we need. But in terms of the Italian core, or at least the young core, we definitely need to hold on to that. And speaking about Montella there, like you mentioned before, Montella did a lot of good things for Milan this season. He did a lot of good things in the first half of the season. You know, you just can't expect a coach, and really, I don't care who it is, whether it's Montella or someone else, stepping into this team and having a positive season from start to end. What are you expecting? Are you expecting miracles to really fly out of the sky for you, or I don't know. But to be honest with you, Montella has not yet finished his job. That is for sure. He has a lot of work to be done this season. But what I mean is that what he has shown in the first half of the season, you can't just take that and throw it away for nothing. And these rumors about Mancini, like you said there, possibly replacing him and so forth, I think it's completely bullshit. And even though he's in the stands today, which by the way, he is attending the game, I simply don't think that there's anything in it. He's simply going there for to see some old friends apparently, and that's about it. You know, that's really it. But the game is underway. We have kickoff here at the Stadio Dall'Ara, so hopefully you guys enjoy the content today, and hopefully we obviously get the win because that's what we need the most. But everything is underway at the Stadio Dall'Ara in Bologna. Are you expecting a quick start from Milan, Pietro?
No, I'm not expecting a quick start. We're not a team that gets off to a quick start usually. I can't remember the last time we scored a goal inside 10 minutes. We kind of just like to find our rhythm from what I've seen from this Milan from the last couple of years. We just, they like to find their rhythm and feel out the team a little bit and until they get comfortable. So I don't expect a flying start, but I do expect a goal in the first half. I think this team knows that they need to get a goal and they need to go into the break ahead.
And speaking about that, I find in recent games we haven't been pressing the opponents well enough, especially in the first half. I think we're letting them play too much. If you know what I mean, I think we're giving them too much space to do, to dictate the plays, to dictate the actions, and we're just, not closing them down as we should. And obviously, I think if we close them better, that would mean more mistakes from the opposition. So hopefully, we'll be seeing us doing a bit better than that, because Bologna, technically speaking, I don't think they're a good team with the ball. Yes, they have some good players like Destro up front that could score goals. But technically speaking, they're not gifted in terms of tactical approaches and so forth. So we really should take advantage of that. We should be able to press them and forcing them into making mistakes. What's your take on
That's
that?
right. I think, I think if we get one goal, they're gonna have to open up. And I mean, if you look right now, they're all sitting behind the ball. I mean, the entire team's on their own half. So they're just looking for a quick counter attack and to take the advantage here. But we need to be the ones to get this first goal. These are the crucial games where a goal first is most important against these smaller sides because to them, picking up a point against Milan is going to be good enough. So the sooner we get a goal, the more this game, the game will open up immediately after that, and we'll be able to, create space and find more space to work in their third of the field. So
yeah, and we spoke about set pieces just before the game, and Milan just had their first set piece, but that was pretty much gone to waste, nothing going, and there will be a counterattack from Bologna, but Abate will be taking care of that. Donnarumma, a bit of a risky pass. But overall, Milan was capable of getting rid of the danger. a bit. The Bologna was doing a bit of pressing there. I don't know if you saw, Pietro. I think they watched recent matches. They've seen Milan really being pressed and being forced into making mistakes as well. Could that be a tactic for them today?
Yeah, I mean we've got a. Sorry, Joe. This was a little bit behind here. My TV on your end. Say your question one more time.
Yeah, I was saying Bologna was really pressing Milan even when they were in their own half. They were playing with Donnarumma, and as you could see, Bologna was really pressing Milan in that moment. Do you think that could be a tactic for Bologna to regain possession in the Milan's end? Maybe that could create some more chances for them easily.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if they're gonna be pushing up higher
Mm-hmm.
and higher, hopefully we can exploit that. And should they be pushing up high, I think we should take advantage of that situation. The higher that they push, the faster we can get a counterattack. The more exposed they are in the back there.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into the comments a bit. Let's read what you guys have to say. Once again, just a quick reminder: don't put any links regarding streams because they will be blocked. So there's honestly no point in doing that. But getting into the comments, Lucho says, "I can see us being good in 2 years without." By the way, here's a chance for Milan with Delofeo. Big save, rebound. I can't believe it. Did you just see that?
I'm a little bit behind you, Gio. I'm on a satellite TV here, and
Okay.
we're still in our half. Let me see if I can try to fix this issue.
Okay.
But no, I have not seen that yet.
Okay. When you see the replay of this, you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it yourself.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Who was that? Basilic who hit it?
It was Pasalic that hit it over the bar. Absolutely incredible there. And that seems like the Bologna goalkeeper is down. He's currently being treated. I don't know what happened with him there. But what a chance for Milan. And we were just speaking about that, about the finishing there. These are chances that you got to put in the back of the net. And we weren't predicting a good start for Milan. We weren't predicting a fast start. But, that could have been already 1-0. And these are the chances that Milan has really failed in recent games and they weren't capable of putting in the net. I think these are the type of chances you got to finish. Don't be surprised at the end of the game if you lose, This is pretty much the reason.
You get your chances. You got to bury them. You get your chances like this. This is this kind of stuff that, I mean, you got to bury. Yeah, good shot from Delofeo, good save by the keeper. But then, again, Basilic buried that ball. Oy. This is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. We get these chances. It's not that we don't get chances during the game.
Mm-hmm.
When we get the chances, we got to finish them. These are the chances that need to be goals, and these goal-scoring chances, we need to convert them. At least, if you get 5 of those a game, you got to convert 1 or 2 of them at least. So let's hope we get another one quick here and are able to put Bologna on their back.
Yeah, definitely agree there. And Da Costa seems to be fine, so he will be proceeding. But yeah, I wanted to see that replay again. I really wanted to see the situation in which Pasalic was in before taking that shot. Because if he had a bit of time to, stop the ball and actually have a better accurate shot rather than just rifling it on a first touch basis, maybe that could have been better for us and that could have been 1-0 already. But already good positive signs we have to say there, Pietro.
Yeah, good start for our guys. Same thing with Sampdoria. We started well. We gotta finish. Like I said, this is the name of the game today. Finish. We gotta finish these chances. So hopefully we can get one soon.
Mm-hmm. Here's another set piece, by the way, for Milan, and we'll see if we can get anything going here. A short solution, which almost kind of baffled there Da Costa, but Milan keep the ball, and it's going to be another one. And Vanjoni this time doing the job. Vanjoni, I'm expecting, because speaking about him, his agent was saying that he could play as a fullback, but also a bit more advanced as a left midfielder. And if he has those qualities, I think he could definitely play or have a very good performance today. Because I'm actually very curious, because besides defending qualities as a fullback, this guy actually has some positive. When he moves up, he could have some positive performance. You could have. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you can just see it. I mean, he's got an attacking mindset, which is good because
Exactly what I
he can
said.
track
Yeah.
back and do his and do his job defensively. I mean, where on the other hand, Abata, he's I mean 80% defense, and in moving forward, he struggles a little bit with. I mean, he gets up there and he's only got a right foot, and it's very predictable, like we've been talking about on that wing. So hopefully, Vanjoni could come in and play a couple 1-2s on the left with Delafeo if need be, and let's see. I'm curious to see how he crosses the ball with his left. He is a left footer, am I right?
Yeah, I think so. But what's more important is, I know this is only the start of the game, but I can't wrap my head around why Montella actually wanted to start Romagnoli instead of Vanjoni last game in that position.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he doesn't trust Vanjoni enough to start him, and I think now he feels like he deserves it. He deserves a chance. Everybody deserves a chance, and when you get your chance, you got to make the most of it.
And here's another set piece once again. We're just really pounding on that Bologna defense in these opening 10 minutes. I just hope that we get a goal, because really all these chances that we're getting need to be used. And it's just set piece after set piece here so far in these opening 10 minutes for Milan. Really, that's all it is.
I don't understand why we like to play the primo palo every time, the first post here.
Yeah.
Why don't we play far post?
Well, that's another thing, but right now it's just a succession of corners, one after the other, and yeah, I think you said it quite well. You know, it's either the first post or we play it short. It's always the same thing with Milan, and why we never opt for a second post solution, I just simply don't know. What I know though is that Milan likes to play paletta, if you always noticed, and paletta does those flicks right in the back, hoping that he finds the head of someone else to flick it in the net. Always looking for that deflection. But, you know, once again, this goes back to the whole thing about being predictable. You have to have other solutions. You have to have other ideas. Even on set pieces. Like, you can't just continue crossing it to the first post. Unless the other team is, like, completely dumb. They will read you out. They will read you out. And these are things that we need to avoid doing.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. I 100%.
Someone's actually saying these corners are like FIFA. And yeah, a lot of people are actually agreeing in the comments, you know. Once again, I simply don't understand why we keep repeating the same cross over and over again. Teams will figure you out. And besides the open play that we usually do there, where we pass it on the wings and try to cross it in, even things like set pieces, they cannot be that predictable. We need to change. Wow, yeah. What a chance that was. Kuchka that time.
It looks like you're a few seconds ahead of me, Gio.
Yeah, yeah. All right, no problem. I completely understand. That's the thing. That's what happens when everyone's on a different stream, I guess. But no problem.
One of these days, maybe we'll do a stream together. This way, there's no lag.
yeah, definitely. Arshia says 6 corners so far and nothing out of it. This always goes back to the same thing of us not being able to, you know, being influential, being impactful on those corners or set pieces in general. Definitely needs to change. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, guys, if you're enjoying our content today for the Bologna AC Milan live stream watch along. Our goal is to reach 100 likes, so if you haven't yet liked the video, please do so. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV if you're a Milanista or you're a Rossonero, or simply you just like our content. We post daily videos for you guys to keep you guys updated with everything going on at the club. So definitely, if you guys are seeking for information or just want to stay updated with everything going on at Milan, this is your chance to do so by subscribing to the channel. Bologna showing some attacking flair now in Milan's half. Milan doing a good job at containing it, and very good ball won there by Kuchka. That's exactly the type of dirty work he has to do, you know. We spoke about it many times, Pietro. Kuchka definitely wins a lot of balls in that midfield, and you know,
he's our Gattuso.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly it. And you know, we need to have those types of players in our team. It's good to have tactically able players, players are capable of setting up plays or simply, moving the ball around. But we also need those ball winners in the middle of the park to set up those counterattacks.
Yeah, I think every team needs that ball winner and that guy that's going to do the dirty work. Cause,
exactly.
Pasalic doesn't strike me as that kind of a player. But every team needs that player. And the thing that interests me about Kuchka is that he does both.
Yeah, exactly.
He contributes to the attack as well, and he pushes forward. That guy's got lungs like nobody I've ever seen.
Well, that's exactly what I was mentioning about Kuchka in the pre-match. See that
move?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. He's capable of playing both, defensively and offensively. But the real problem is, I like how he moves. I really like how he brings the ball up, and even sometimes he attempts some tricks, and he gets it right most of the time. So he's an interesting player. He certainly doesn't just do the dirty work. He also does contributes to the attack. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he surprised me, honestly. When we bought him from Genoa, I wasn't expecting too much. But then he came in and he won the fans' heart immediately. I think the San Siro crowd, especially us Milanista, we're used to guys that honor the shirt. And if I had to pick, maybe 5 players that really honor the shirt, I would definitely say Kuchka is among those players.
Oh, I definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you.
Plays from the heart.
Definitely agree with you. I think he's definitely one of those players that, works hard day in and day out. He's one of those players that he's capable of really keeping a clean head, always motivated. I don't know where he finds the motivation sometimes, but he always seems to have it. And, I think we need more players like that. We need more players with that type of mentality. Because certain times we do have players that are good, or at least some of them are good tactically, but what we're lacking really is players that are motivated to play on a weekly basis and can really win you games.
Yeah, you see mental lapses from certain individuals weekly when we go down, and it seems like he doesn't get fazed by that. Just like when we went down against Napoli, that guy's, our defensive midfielder is going to put us back in the game at 2-1 against Napoli. It was him. That's the kind of spirit that we need in this team to charge up these guys.
Completely agree with you. There, Bologna had a decent chance, but once again, every time Bologna seems to be attacking, they look like they're in a threatening position, Pietro, but it seems like they just give up at some point. It's I don't know if they're taking it too easily or they're lacking ideas, but they've had some counterattacks. I think that they could have done some damage to Milan. They just weren't capable of really, besides finishing, they weren't capable of creating a good chance.
Yeah, we got to be careful because against a better quality team, against Lazio on Monday, we do this kind of stuff where they attack us like that in numbers, where we're down in numbers. In other words, it's a 4v2 or whatnot. We're gonna end up going behind and conceding. Yeah,
and we saw that against teams like Napoli. We saw that a couple of times. Juventus too. I find we're very, very slow when defending counterattacks, and thankfully, Bologna don't have all those qualities to really hit you on the counterattack all the time. They definitely could create chances, but they're quite slow themselves at developing these counters. But when you have teams like Napoli that make everything look so easy and it just looks like you're playing a video game, when Napoli have those counterattacks.
Like that one on Insigne where Insigne scored that first goal. I've never seen Abate is one of the fastest players of his day and he was burned by Insigne. It just way behind ball watching, and that's what you get. We got that quick counter and they scored 2 goals like that. So
yeah, I completely agree with you. A little scrap there going on between Paletta and I believe it was Mbaye. There is a yellow card given to Paletta. You probably haven't seen that yet on your screen there, Pietro. But there's a yellow card to Paletta. He currently doesn't understand why he got one. But looking at the replay, they both got one. And Mbaye and Paletta both got a yellow card.
Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. The silly mistakes, the silly yellows. We got to be very careful because, these yellows add up. And then it's going to be Paletta missing a game at the Juventus Stadium someday.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And how many times have we really seen that happen for Milan? Really, it's ridiculous. But I completely agree with you. Paletta needs to be careful, though, because, he's definitely a very important player at Milan, especially in the defense, and we cannot afford him to lose. He needs to be a bit more disciplined. We cannot afford him to pick up these yellow cards like this. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with his experience and his level of expertise, you got to know that this is how. I mean, now you can't make another foul the rest of the game. We've got 60+ minutes of football to be played, more.
Yeah.
And we've got to make that we're not picking up these silly fouls. If you're gonna pick up a yellow, I want you to pick up a tactical foul.
Exactly. There was absolutely no real motive for Paletta to pick up a yellow card there. Like you said, 60, 70 minutes left to be played in this game. There's absolutely so much time. And really, you have to be extra careful now because we know that one little thing, even if you're forced to make a challenge now because the opponents could score a goal, you're pretty much going in the locker rooms. That's going to be the end of it. That's going to be the end of the story. And we cannot afford to have this responsibility on our hands, especially this early on in the game. These are yellow cards that I wouldn't mind you picking up like later on in the game, but this early on,
it's stupid.
Yeah, I think it's quite the mistake there from Paletta. So we've seen a pretty positive 10 minutes, those first 10 minutes from Milan. We did create a lot of chances. Unfortunately, none of them went in the back of the net. These last 10 minutes, though, were a bit more balanced, I guess. Bologna did have some chances themselves. Milan, I don't know what it is, but once again, we go back to the old thing of continuity, just never capable of being consistent in the playing. I don't know why. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but I find we make useless passes all the time when we have easier options right next to us. And
that's right, yeah. And I force it sometimes.
And I think that just contributes to more giveaways. I think that just contributes to more mistakes. Yeah, just little small mistakes. Oh, here's a big chance for Bologna. Oh, Donnarumma came out strong there. Very well done. But there's one of Bologna players there on the ground. See, it's exactly those little types of mistakes. And if you took a look at that, Pietro, did you see Paletta there? Paletta almost, if he got that wrong, that could have been a sending off. Because he was confronted. He could have been sending off. He could have been sent off. And, that would have been the end of the game already for him. And Milan, Milan, sometimes they're not even capable of playing with 11 men. Imagine with one less early on.
You know what's interesting? That's the domino effect that I'm talking about. It's the little small mistakes that everybody's doing to contribute to our draws or our losses. And it just can't be. We can't have these mistakes.
Completely agree. A lot of people are mentioning in the comments, Bacca, every time he's getting the ball this game, once again, the opposition is having such an easy time taking it off him. And really, I don't know if it is because they're just pressing on him very highly. He's not being really given time to turn around or do anything. But once again, the problems that are currently going on with Bacca, they seem to be replicating game in and game out.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to change from him. He knows it, we know it, and the teammates know it. It's got to be a different mentality and a different approach. And I think I mean, it's too early to judge on his performance so far. Yeah, he's had an okay start. I've seen him get involved in one or two plays. I think he's trying to get involved, and I think he knows. He's been publicly criticized heavily, so he knows that where his strengths and his weaknesses are and what he has a problem with. And I think that he needs to make the most of it and improve and silence his critics, really.
Completely agree with you, and I think he definitely needs to do something today. He needs to win back the fans some way or another. Oh, that was a poor challenge there from... will be another yellow. It will be another yellow to Milan. A yellow card this time coming to Abate. That was a pretty rash challenge, but if you take a look at it, you can kind of argue with it. I'm not quite sure if he got the ball or not. You're probably going to be seeing it in a few seconds there, Pietro, but...
I think he got the ball. I didn't see the ball change.
I'm going to see this again on the replay. I think he got the ball, but, these are the type of challenges that you have to be careful with, and... I don't want to bring old stories back again, but if that was a yellow card, then what was the Paul's tackle on the shield? And What
It
could
was ridiculous.
what could be classified to that? That should have been easily a red, but obviously I don't want to bring old stories again. Just to compare, you know, the type of yellow cards. Like,
Right.
I don't know what it is.
I watched the replay. I didn't see him get the ball. I saw him get his ankles there. Did he touch the ball first?
To be honest with you, it was a bit of a tough angle to judge on that replay. It was really tough. I'm not sure if he got the ankle or the ball, to be honest. It was a tough angle to watch. At least from the angle that I saw on that replay. So people are already going on about the refs in the comment section. They're saying we get the worst refs every game.
You know, I don't know. I mean, we got to look at ourselves. You know, just like the standings, we can't keep looking at other teams and refs. We got to beat these teams. The refs aren't going to beat them for us. We got to create these chances. If we're putting ourselves in successful positions to finish off games, we got to be the one winning these games. Yeah, the ref can make a mistake or two, but it shouldn't be a deciding factor for the whole entire game. We got to create these chances this way. No one looks at that ref's mistake.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And you know, going back to refs' mistakes, I think someone was mentioning on Twitter today, Juve were denied a penalty shot or something, but they still ended up winning the game today against Crotone. You know, that's exactly what nobody talked about it anymore, because at the end of the day, they still got the job done. And Milan I think they need to focus a little less on these little particular details and just focus on winning the game. You know, at the end of the day, that's what people will be speaking about. You cannot just start complaining about the refs every given second. But Milan already do have 2 yellow cards in these opening 25 minutes, and you know, we mentioned it with Paletta. Milan need to be careful because we cannot afford any more silly bookings. That's for sure.
I think those two are our most experienced players, and both of them picking up silly yellow cards in positions where yellow cards weren't necessary.
Yeah, definitely. They are the 2 most experienced players, and well, especially Paletta's there. That was unnecessary, but you could argue with Abate too. You know, I don't think.
Where was he going?
Well, the thing is, it wasn't even in our own half, and it was pretty far from the whole action. I don't think he needed to go with a slight tackle there just to regain the ball. I understand maybe his desire to re-get the ball and start the counterattack fast enough so maybe we could get a chance on net. But, you know, you're kind of risking at the same time with those types of challenges. I don't think it's worth the risk, especially at this point in the game. You're not losing the game. It's not late into the game. Why would you risk such a challenge like that?
Right, and I don't know what Abate was trying to do with that challenge. I mean, if you look at that play again, there was no white shirt within 10-15 yards of him. Even if he did win the ball, where are you going to go with that?
Yeah, I simply don't understand what his intentions were there, but Abate, you know, needs to lead the example. It's not only him, but like Paletta, they need to lead the example for the youngsters. You know, if you got themselves making silly challenges like that, and then this goes back to the whole thing with Locatelli, for example.
Yep.
Myself included, I was criticizing him, but if you got the veterans, the experienced players, you know, doing these types of rash challenges, then, you know, what could you say about the youngsters? Exactly, you know, what could you say about the youngsters? Do you forgive them, or you just say, oh, well, you know?
Yeah, well, let's hope Locatelli learned from that experience. And
I definitely think he did. Yeah, I definitely think he did. You know, these are little things that I believe could happen during the course of a season. You know, like I said, the mentality and just the morale. Sometimes the fatigue plays a part of it. Frustration plays a part of it. And, you know, that's what happens when you lose games completely, like one after the other. I think that just really accumulates, and it makes you, you know, get involved in these types of mistakes, these types of challenges that maybe you wouldn't be making on any other given day if you have a clear mind, you know.
Right. I agree with you, Joe.
Getting back to your comments, Arshia says, I'm not even that optimistic for next season, to be honest. This team needs a lot more than 150 million. It's not even that much money in today's world of football. Do you agree with that? 150 million? You think it's not enough to rebuild a team?
Okay, here's how I feel about that. It depends who's controlling that money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Berlusconi and Galliani, they were 2 of the most powerful men in this business for the last 30 years. Okay, maybe the last 25. And they did a fantastic job working together and bringing some of the world's best talent in. and hence our beautiful history that we've had the last 30 years with Berlusconi. But their time is up. Galliani's strategy and his mindset is old, and it's not what it should be. Now, when Galliani signed it, when we did have the money, that the little money that we did have, the money that was spent from Galliani on these players, that's where I blame Galliani, because it's not that we didn't. Yes, of course we didn't have 140 million in a transfer window lately, but when we did have some money, the 20 million on Bertolacci, too much. The 12 or 13 million on Matri, too much. All these signings that Galliani made, I think they need to be out. Do I think that 140 million is going to be enough for this summer? Yeah, I do think so. I mean, if we can't build a team on 140 million, we have the wrong guys doing the transfer market.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and that's exactly what I was mentioning the other day. I think that 150 million euros it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, some people might argue you can buy maybe two, three top players at most with that money. But I think if you have a good management, if you have a very good management, and you can make smart purchases, even if you get a few players that are worth 20 million, but they're actually smart purchases. You see potential in them, and not just spend them on guys like Bertolacci.
I hope that we don't come in and buy two. I mean, yeah, of course we want superstars, but if you ask me, I'd rather buy 3-4 good quality players with that money than one superstar or one superstar and some scrap players. I think we need to build a structure, and nobody's going to win the Champions League next year. Nobody's going to win the Scudetto, maybe not the Scudetto next year either, but I think that building a team and building a structure for the future is going to be important for us.
Very big chance there for Bologna. Meanwhile, I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Donnarumma wasn't capable of grabbing onto the ball, holding onto the ball, and that almost trickled behind him there. Thankfully, Milan's defense did just enough not to allow one of the Bologna players that was pretty close by to get a tap in. But it will be a corner kick for Bologna, and at the moment it seems Zapata might actually be coming on. Romagnoli's down, and Zapata might actually be coming on. Wow.
My God.
Wow. What do you make out of this? And it seems that the substitution is actually being made official as we speak. Zapata coming in for Romagnoli. I just hope that it's nothing too serious and we won't be seeing him out for the next games, because we do have some very big important games here.
This is exactly what we don't want to see. Well, you need a little bit of luck. In football, you need luck. It can't all be skill, and it can't all be, tactics. It's got to be, you got to have some luck, and this is not good luck for us. I feel like we've been very unlucky in some of the injuries that we've been picking up. But I mean, again, another muscular injury, it looks like to me. I don't know, I didn't see it, but muscular injury.
Well, it definitely looks like a muscular injury. I think it's something behind his leg. I'm not quite sure. I just hope he didn't pull anything, and because we do have some very important games coming up, especially at the end of this month or next week. Actually, Lazio, Fiorentina. If you take a look at it,
yeah, it appears to be a hamstring. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but from him holding it back there, it looks like that's usually what they're signaling for. But hopefully, it's nothing like Bonaventura where he needs surgery. And
I definitely hope that it's not a hamstring, because I think we all know that could take quite a bit of time to recover from. Well, depending on the extent, of course, but yeah. I don't know what to think about Zapata coming on. I mean, once again, we're seeing Zapata and Paletta playing together, just like we did against Sampdoria there. And
how do you feel about that, Gio? Do you think Zapata's the better pair for Paletta, or you think Gustavo Gomez would be a better option?
Well, that's actually a very good question that you asked me. Personally, I think I would have thrown in Gustavo Gomez in this one. Zapata, for some reason, it's not about him being shaky or whatever. It's just, I'm never confident with him. Every time I see him on the ball, something bothers me. It's like we've seen it all kinds of times. We've seen him being not able to really making consecutive passes, making stupid passes, not really paying attention to what's going on around him. And for example, last game, he was the cause of the goal, because he initially lost the ball in the opponent's half, which, first of all, I don't understand what he was doing all the way up there. And a poor touch pretty much led to a Sampdoria breakaway, and then the rest is history. We all know exactly what happened. But to be honest with you, I'm not confident about Zapata playing there. I'm actually not confident to see Zapata on the pitch at all. And people were actually saying, you know, how's this guy even playing? Besides the fact that he was given captaincy last game, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely hope that he proves me wrong, but I don't see Zapata. I'm not confident. I'm honestly not confident. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, who do we have? I mean, yeah, Zapata and Gomez, and to be completely honest, they both scare me when they have the ball, or even when they have the ball, and then sometimes when they're, you know, when they're one-on-one, they really worry me because they're Zapata and Gomez both are. I mean, Gomez, he's learning and he's getting better. He's gotten better since this first game against Napoli, but he's kind of sloppy. You know, he's kind of just everywhere. And Zapata, same thing. He's kind of careless, you know, and he's got to be, with his experience in Serie A, you would think he'd be a little bit more calm, like Paletta in that sense. But I mean, yeah, I agree with you. They both kind of worry me when the ball's near them.
Well, I still remember quite some time ago now. I remember Zapata making silly mistakes, like just giving opponents breakaways at sometimes. I don't remember which games, but it was a few years ago. And a lot of people were criticizing him, and yet again, I don't know why we're seeing him instead of Gustavo Gomez. I do know that Montella has been speaking highly about Zapata recently, mainly for his performances in training sessions. I don't know what it is. He says that he has a leadership that could help out the team. Maybe he does, but to see him play, it's a different story, you know. And I definitely hope that Paletta's and Zapata's experience, you know, come out strong today, because I think their experience together is exactly what we need today. Hopefully there will be no repeat of the Sampdoria match.
Yeah, the only highlight for me that sticks out from Zapata and his experience at Milan is that I think it was a goal against Barcelona in the Champions League, and that was surprising for all of us, I think.
Yeah, it really was.
Joe, give me just a second. I'm gonna step off for just a second.
No problem. So guys, 35 minutes have passed. Like I said, we've seen some very good first 10 minutes from Milan. We had some good chances. But besides that, I don't know why, but I don't know if it's Bologna figuring us out already, but in the past 25 minutes, we've absolutely not shown anything. We weren't even capable to get a shot on target. We weren't even capable of, you know, playing the ball anywhere near the net. And all it is right now is these long balls, like I'm just looking right now from Zapata, these long balls being served to Bacca. And, you know, this is not what we need. This is not what we need. We're going to lose the ball. We're going to lose possession. I was just mentioning it about Zapata. He looks very hesitant on the ball. Every time he has the ball, he looks very hesitant. And here's another counterattack for Bologna. Big chance, Paletta. And there it is, red card. There it is, the red card for Paletta. And we were speaking about it all along. As soon as he got that yellow card in the opening 15-20 minutes, we said it that it was gonna be hurting Milan. And guess what? Didn't we just talk about it, Pietro? Didn't we just talk about it?
We called this.
We called it.
I've watched them too many times.
Yeah, we were actually mentioning that about 15 minutes ago.
This is exactly what we're talking about. That's a yellow card all day, for sure. And that should have been a yellow card, and rightly so. But then that should have been it. You shouldn't have got this foul in the beginning with all your expertise. I think we have the most red cards in the entire Serie A, if I'm not mistaken, or pretty close to it.
Yeah.
We've got too many red cards this year.
But
discipline.
Yeah, it's absolutely not there. And you know what? We were just mentioning it. You know, Paletta, very stupid yellow card to pick up. We all knew that he was supposed to have an impeccable game with no mistakes whatsoever. First mistake came. Really, Zemaili was obviously faster than Paletta. Some people are saying maybe he didn't touch him or not. Whatever the case is, you know, we all knew that he was going to be risking all match long. And personally, to be honest with you, Pietro, I think that it was inevitable. A yellow card was inevitable for Paletta. I think it was going to come sooner or later in this game, simply because it's really the lack of discipline. If I'm not mistaken, Paletta, I think it's the second or third red card of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. I think that's exactly right. I mean, what are we gonna do now? We're gonna bring Gustavo Gomez in and Zapata, where they've never played together as a pairing,
It's
because now we're
absolutely
gonna need to make.
it's absolutely ridiculous the type of situation we need to get ourselves into, especially against teams like Bologna, Udinese, Sampdoria. Why do we need to be victims to these types of situations? The Wall did a very good job there on the free kick, but really I'm curious to see how Milan proceed now and really progress being a man down against Bologna. Let's recall that this was a team that allowed 7 goals just a few days ago. And Milan is having trouble with them. I was just mentioning it before you left for a moment. I was just mentioning it, how we were creating chances for 10 minutes, and then what happened for the past 25 minutes where we weren't even capable of getting a shot on target or getting anywhere near the net? Really, what happened?
Right. No, we haven't even. I don't think we've been in there 18 for the past 10, 15 minutes. I mean, we're just knocking the ball around in our half, waiting for the. I mean, risking these counterattacks, and this is what we get: a counterattack and a red card for Palata. This is unbelievable.
It's actually unbelievable.
We beat ourselves.
I said this millions of times. How many times have I said it? We always shoot ourselves in the feet, and it's always the same story over and over again. I think there's just way too many lack of ideas here, and I want you to take a good look at this, Pietro. Next time Milan have the ball in that midfield, just look how far back it seems from the play. Just look how far. It's like he's waiting for that pass, but everyone knows that he's going to be getting that pass, and they're going to be closing him in a second. Like, what's the purpose of him playing there? We need someone that's going to be playing a bit closer to the midfield, in my opinion. And I think Lapadula has those types of characteristics that he's capable of, playing a bit more back and bringing in the ball himself towards the penalty box.
If you ask me, Lapadula is more of a team player, whereas Bacca is I mean, he's for himself. He goes for goal, and then you need that kind of you need a striker. Every good striker is going to be somewhat selfish, but you got to play with your team. You got to be involved in the play. You can't expect a through ball every time 1-on-1 with the keeper and finish. If that was the case, then yeah, you'd be the best striker in the world. But that's not the case, and you got to move around and make yourself available for this team. Just because you're not the one scoring, you need to be playing 1-2s and then go back in the box when you play a wing. It's frustrating.
More importantly, what I really can't understand from Milan is this type of attitude that they're having. And there's a chance for Bologna. Meanwhile, I'm just taking a look at this. Well defended there by Locatelli. But getting back to what I was speaking about, let's not forget that this is the makeup game. This is the game that was supposed to get us closer to your opponents. This was the game that we had to take advantage of and make sure that we got the 3 points. And what happens? We're in a non-winning situation at the moment. We're currently a man down. Simply, I don't know what we can make out of this. But
look. I mean, yeah, that's Locatelli tracking back. I understand we don't have 2 center backs back there, but where's Zapata's head? I mean, what is he marking? He's got a far post runner that's already been marked by Vangioni, and Zapata's pulling away from the play on that through ball for Destro.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The marking seems to be poor all the time. Certain players more than others. But I could just see all the holes in this team, even defensively, on crosses. Just so many holes, and it's actually unexplainable because we're playing teams like Bologna, and no offense to them, but this shouldn't be a problem when your name is Milan. This shouldn't be a problem against these teams, and yet it always seems like all the problems in the world come with Milan. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why.
I mean, does this happen to any other teams? I know I watch mainly Milan. I do watch some other teams. I just feel like any of the other big teams this doesn't occur. We have the big name, but we're not producing big results.
Look, the way I see it is that once again, this goes back to the whole thing. Actions speak louder than words. Why do you go ahead and speak in press conference and say we need to win this? Okay, yes, we do know that we need to win this, but make it happen. Why are you not making it happen? Are you not capable of doing it? Or do we not have the right players to do so? I think it's just a bunch of things put together, and all the time it's like we always have difficulty getting a win. I don't know what it is. Like, No call there from the referee. There were some penalty appeals for Milan. But yeah, I simply don't get it. You know, it's 4 or 5 games in a row that you don't get a win. You're playing Bologna, a team that just lost 7-1 against Napoli. You should be winning this game, and you're still having trouble to even get a shot on target. Or a shot, nonetheless. Like, Bologna is taking more shots on target than us. That's the scary part.
Yeah. And they're too cautious. They're too afraid, it looks like, of the counterattack, that they're playing too many. Here's a counter, but they're playing too many people behind the ball. I think we need to send, our fullbacks need to push higher. I haven't seen much from Banjoni or Abate, to be honest.
Same here. Now, a lot of people are still mentioning in the comments Montella deserves to be sacked, this and that. Offside there, offside call.
It's funny because those are the same fans that love Montella when we're winning.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Oh, that was millimetrical, I guess, from Baka there being offside. See, even Baka, for example, you're all alone in that position. You need to get in a better position. You cannot find yourself being offside. This is, as a striker, it's not all about finishing, creating chances, and so forth. You also have to look at your positioning and simply, look at the line. You need to have a bit of a vision, and simply, I don't see that. Once again from Baka.
Before you check the ball, check the line, and then call the ball.
You know what?
You're onside, and then call the ball.
You know what it is? Like, you got paid 30 million. Like, we paid him 30 million to buy him, and it's a guy that can't look at the line like that. Like, to me, it's just ridiculous that players at a professional level still cannot.
And he was, like you said, he was centimeters off. I mean, if he could have just looked over, stepped 1 foot in front of him, and that would have been a through ball on goal.
And those are chances that, like I said before, could change the course of the game. You cannot afford to make mistakes like that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This is where I don't know. If I were Montella, I would prefer Lapadula over him. Let Baka sit out. I mean, look what happened when he was sitting Baka. Remember against Sampdoria in the first half of the season? He sat Baka. Lapadula was starting. Lapadula didn't score, played a good game. Baka came in, finished, and told everybody that I'm the star striker. Okay, we get it. But I think that's maybe what Montella needs to do. Go back to that mentality that, hey, nobody's bigger than the club.
Now, are you expecting Lapadula to come in the second half? Do you think Baka will be given some more time in the second half? Or do you think it's going to be a straight swap for him early on?
I mean, as far as a swap at halftime, I don't think so. I think within 20 minutes of the second half, we're going to get a good picture. If things are going the way they are, I mean, that's another thing that I like Montella, I do. But one complaint that I have against him is the substitutions late. I know we're down a man, and he's got to be cautious of how he goes about his substitutions. Now, that's another thing that needs to be taken into account, is that now the substitutions that were planned need to be, you need to reconsider.
Yeah,
because now we're down a man. What do we need? Do we need to reinforce the defense, or do we need to reinforce, the attack? I mean, it changes everything. It changes the complete complexion of the game.
Completely agree with you, and that's exactly it. Sometimes certain events occur in the game, and it forces you to make changes that you weren't pretty much predicting at the beginning, or at least hoping to make. But that's exactly it. We got Romagnoli. It's actually pretty scary looking at it, because we are playing Lazio. I don't want to look too forward now, but we are playing Lazio on Monday, and Romagnoli's out injured. Paletta's out on suspension.
Yeah, who's gonna be our pairings? I mean, Gomez and Zapata.
Just imagine the situation we put ourselves into right now. Just imagine that situation. It's absolutely ridiculous, and Lazio, they're a very good team. We cannot afford to be missing these types of players.
I feel like for some reason, I mean, I don't know if it's me or if it's just, I just feel like every time we have a big match, we're missing somebody big.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, very true. But also, I think, I don't know what it is. I just hope that Romagnoli, he's not going to be out for long, because really it would mean a tragedy just missing Paletta and Romagnoli for next game.
Yeah.
It would really mean a tragedy.
No chemistry between Zapata and Gomez, and then they're going to start against a direct competitor for the Europa League.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're on the verge of halftime. The score is more likely to be 0-0 by the time the referee whistles. But to be honest with you, I was expecting much better from a team that was, you know, willing to do better in this game, was willing to actually take home the 3 points. And at the moment, we really haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a team. Yeah, we haven't seen a team that is willing to make a change there. And with that being said, it is halftime. And to be honest with you, it's been a pretty disappointing half. It has, because I cannot wrap my head around the mistakes we made. Some mistakes, such as the finishing. Pasalic with a golden chance in the opening minutes. I think he got the best chance of the game so far. Paletta getting sent off. Romagnoli off injured. You know, it's like always everything is against us. I don't know what it is, but it's one thing after the other going against us. What did you make of that performance?
No. Not very happy. We started okay with Pasalic, like you said. I mean, the thing that scares me most is, yeah, we're down a man and we're out Romagnoli for the future, but we're not creating. And at least against Sampdoria, we were knocking on the door. Yeah, we got a penalty against us and we went down, but this is not. This, in my opinion, we had a better performance on Sunday than we had here the first 45. But
yeah, and honestly, I think so as well. You know, I think we were controlling the ball very well against Sampdoria. We did have some chances. At the end, we couldn't put in the back of the net, but I could agree with you on the fact that, you know, we haven't seen Milan really pounding on Bologna's door. But besides those opening 10 minutes, that's all it has really been. And frankly, I don't know if it's Bologna just becoming more aware of the situation, or Milan just letting down as they usually do. You know, it's always the same thing. They tend to either start very well in those 10 minutes, those first 10 minutes, or they tend to start very bad. Have you noticed that? It's like some sort of pattern that goes on with this team. I don't know what it is, but it's just some sort of pattern.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. I mean, we're this is the team that we've got right now, and this is the instability that we have.
The Skype line is now open, guys. If you guys want to share your thoughts on the first half, you guys could give us a call on Skype. Rossoneri TV altogether is the username if you guys are interested in talking to us and want to share your thoughts. And we do have a call here from Azem. So, Pietro, I will be calling you for the second half. We'll give the chance to some more callers to give in their thoughts.
All right, cheers, thanks.
Hi, Azam, can you hear me? Hello, Azam, you're live on Rossoneri TV. Can you hear me? Alright, nothing from Azam. If you guys, once again, want to call, the Skype username is Rossoneri TV altogether. Before I get into some more of your calls, I will get into your comments. Let's see what you guys have to say about all of this. Geek 101 says it's like Milan are made out of Jenga blocks and every Serie A team knows which block to shove. Honestly, that's a pretty good observation that you made there. I think every team just knows exactly what to make out of the situation. With Milan, they just know exactly how to defend or fix the problems with their personal performance. But that definitely has to be fixed. That definitely has to be fixed for Milan because we're being too predictable going forward and even defensively. Now we do have a call from Lewis, so let's see what he has to say. Hi, Lewis. Can you hear me?
God. Hi.
Yeah, you're live. Go for it.
Hi. I'm just gonna say, Paleta. I don't know. I'm just. Then, like, the team overall is playing nice football, but they need to score those chances like Pasalic did there. I literally fell asleep like on the 30th minute watching the game. I just got bored. I'm just saying we need to win these games versus easy teams like this one.
Well, I completely agree with you, Lewis. I mean, Bologna on paper, it's not an easy team because no team in the Serie A is easy. Let's get that out of the mind. But these are teams that we need to get the 3 points against. You know, I could understand when we're playing teams like Napoli. I could understand when we're playing teams like Juventus, Roma. I'm not saying it's okay to lose, but if we do lose those games, it's understandable because they do have better teams than us. But when you're playing a team like Bologna, a team that lost 7-1 against Napoli, you're expected to score at least 2 goals. You know, I'm not saying we should score 7 goals, but at least 2 goals you have to score. And
Yeah.
and Milan, it seems like every time they were trying to set something up, it's always been blocked. Like their street was blocked. They were never capable of finding a little passage, a little something. And what's even worse to me, Luis, is that Milan is starting to do those long balls again now since they don't have any options. I don't know if you saw with Zapata and other players. They're starting to
Yeah,
go with
yeah.
those long balls. What do you make of
Like,
that?
I also want to make sure, why did Romagnoli leave?
He got injured. Romagnoli got injured.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you think it's a bad one or he's okay?
To be honest with you, I don't know the extent of his injury. I don't know how bad it was. But from the looks of it, I think I just hope he didn't, tear anything behind his leg. It might have been his hamstring.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, but I definitely hope that it's nothing too serious because we need a guy like Romagnoli. And I was just mentioning it before. Being out with Romagnoli and Paletta for next game against Lazio, that could definitely mean disaster.
Yeah.
Did you have any other things to say?
No, thanks.
All right, Lewis. Thank you for calling in.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, you guys could call in if you have anything else to say. I know we had a few people that wanted to talk here, but if you guys want to talk, just give me the call and I'll be answering. I'm gonna call Aran. I think he wanted to speak here, so I'm gonna give him a call. Let's see if he answers and let's see what he has to say. But make sure you give me the call. I'll be answering. I don't have to call you guys. You guys could go right for it and share your thoughts yourself with me. Once again, the Skype username is Rossoneri TV. If you guys are unaware, you can probably see it in the scroll box right behind, right under it. So all the information is there if you guys want to call in. Iran, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, hold on. I think I clicked on the camera. Sorry.
No problem. What were your thoughts on that first half?
Like you said, Milan shouldn't need to be struggling against a team that lost. What was it, 7-1?
Yeah, 7-1 against Napoli.
Yeah, like I saw, like Zapata, like it's just to do with our like the manager is not obviously giving them enough discipline and more of not enough lecture about how they should be tackling or how their marking should be. It's all over the place. Like I was watching a bit of it now, and there's a lot of gaps, a lot of ways that the strikers can easily break through the defense, and it's not going to help us at all if we don't sort that out soon. So I don't have a lot of expectation.
But what do you make of a guy like Paletta? I think he's picked up too many red cards. A guy with his experience, he's done very good things this season. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's done very good things this season. But I think his discipline hasn't been very good. And a guy with his experience, you cannot afford to make mistakes like that. Like, for example, his first yellow card today. What was that all about? Like, it's early on the game. There was absolutely no need for that.
Yeah, it's like, remember the first game of the season, we won 3-2 against Torino. I mean,
Yes.
He got sent off at the end of the game. He could have cost us the 3 points. Like, he's doing this, he's doing this at situations that, that can cost us the game entirely, and it needs to stop. Like, I highly praise Paletta this season. He's been great in situations. He's probably the most solid defender we have. But overall, I just recently, I just think Milan in general don't have the quality for this particular formation, like 4-3-3. We just don't have that quality. It's something I expect Barcelona to play in this formation, but like I think Montella needs to try out a new formation. Like I recommend 4-4-2 and play Lapadula and back up front, because at least Lapadula has a better work rate. and he would create the goal rather than just wait for a ball to be given to him.
Yeah, and speaking about Lapadula, are you expecting him to make an appearance in the second half? Do you think he's going to be replacing Baka at some point? Or you think Baka could get to a good start in that second half?
I don't think Baka... I think Baka had many opportunities to prove that to us. I think Lapadula should come on. He's definitely more involved with the team, and he can definitely provide a good goal for us. He's very good placing the balls back in the net. Most of his goals were just him placing it in on the corners. And yeah, I think Lapadula really needs to come on, and maybe even give back 10 minutes of this half, and just bring Lapadula on fresh, and he could give us the 3 points. He could score the goal for us. I mean, that's all we need. We need consistency with goals, and especially strikers, because we're not getting enough of that this year.
You know what really boggles my mind is how Baka's even still getting starts. Because personally, I think that Lapadula needs to get a start. He needs to be given a chance. Why has he never been given a chance from the beginning? I think I've only seen it once or something this season. But
it's because if we don't start Baka, then it makes us look foolish on the wages we're paying Carlos Baka.
Yeah.
Like, if we're not starting Baka, then everyone's going to be thinking, why aren't we paying this guy so many wages if we're not starting the guy? I just think it's to do with that personally. And if we sell Baka this summer, which I honestly hoping we do to get a bit of cash, then I think Lapadula will get more of an opportunity. And definitely we could, I'm not too certain what's going to happen now for us in the future, but I really, really think Lapadula deserves more of a starting role, because after what we've seen from him, he just works harder. He just looks like he's more passionate for his role than Baka. Baka just complains to other players when it's really him that has to take responsibility for it as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Alright, man, thank you for calling in. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Aran. And I think it was your first time on Rossoneri TV, if I'm not mistaken.
It was my second time.
Second time.
I happened to change my name on this.
Oh, alright. Well, thank you for calling in. It was a very good talk. And make sure to call in again.
I will. Thank you very much.
Alright, thank you. Take care. Alright, we're going to be taking one more call before the second half starts. Should be starting in just a few moments. So maybe one more person, whoever wants to call, to share in their thoughts before we get into the second half. I know I've been getting a lot of them, but whoever's next, I will be answering. So go for it, whoever it is. I know Edin, I think, wanted to speak. I'm going to give him a call and see if he answers. But yeah, keep talking in the conversation in the comment section. I'm also curious about what you guys think in the comment section. I'll be answering your questions very, very soon. Hi, Edin, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I can hear you. What's up, man?
Not much. Yourself?
I'm just sad, man. It's so hard to be an AC Milan fan these days.
It really, really is. Very frustrating first half. Now we're playing with 10 men for the whole second half. Do you think we can still score a goal?
Well, yes, I think we can, but it will be very, very hard. The whole team will have to give like 2000% of them.
Completely agree, yes.
Just want to say I'm sick of the lack of passion the boys are giving. We really need like a Gattuso guy, and like one Serginho and Shevchenko in the attack. I'm sick of watching a battle.
But I agree with you. I think the lack of passion is definitely something that I've been noticing the past few games. I don't know what it is. It just seems like even against when we play against Udinese or Sampdoria, it just seems like, we're allowing the opponents to get some action. We're allowing them to get close to our net. I don't know, we're just like allowing them to play when we should be the ones to dictate and everything. We should be the ones to impose the fear on the opponents, and we're just not doing that. I think we need to be meaner. We need to be have a more fighting spirit, and simply I think we're just too passive. We're just, going around our game like it's a practice, it's not really a competitive match.
Yeah. We need to play more Supercoppa games.
More important games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We need Champions League in our life.
Maybe, maybe it's those types of games that Milan is more motivated to play in. But to get to there, we need to win these ones. We all know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right, Edin. Thank you for calling, man.
Thanks.
All right.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for the halftime phone calls. If you didn't get a chance to speak to us at halftime, make sure to call us after the game for the post-match review. There will also be the possibility for you guys to call us there. So if you didn't get a chance to speak to us, there's also the chance to do so after the game in the post-match review. On that note, I'm gonna get back on the call with Pietro. Because the second half is about to start, and of course we will be commentating it. We will be talking about it in its fullness. Hey Pietro, so we're about to get started in the second half.
Yeah, I like those calls that came in. I was listening to a little bit of it, and yeah, interesting points.
Now there's a substitution to be talking about here because Gustavo Gomez has just came in for Locatelli. Were you expecting that there, Pietro?
No, you just gave me the news. No, I was not expecting that at all. I don't think it was a bad display from Locatelli, but somebody.
Someone needed to be sacrificed, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a real shame, in my opinion, to to sacrifice someone this early in the game because it is just the beginning of the second half, and unfortunately, due to a mistake there from Paletta, we had to replace him with we had to replace Locatelli with another defender, which understandably you wouldn't want to take that risk going forward in this game since there's still a lot of time to be played. But how do you think this will change tactically now going for Milan? Do you see them having a bit more trouble going forward, or what do you see really going forward in this game?
I do. I mean, I personally think like we lose some creativity by losing Locatelli. I mean, I think maybe would have sacrificed somebody else, maybe kept Kuchka in there and sacrificed Pasalic. Personally, but again, I'm not the coach, and he sees what's going on. Hopefully, this is a good decision by him. Yeah, I think this is more of a defensive approach. Actually, he doesn't want to lose this game, and I think he's going to play conservatively here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sad that we have to go to those extremes at this point in the game to actually, I wouldn't say completely defend, but to have a more defensive approach, like you said, in order not to lose this game. But personally, I think I would have done something different. Like you said, I still would have taken Pasalic off and most probably imply a 4-2-3-1 formation with Kuchka and Locatelli most probably playing as those center mid, defensive mid. That has to be a yellow card for Bologna. That definitely has to be a yellow card. It is. It's a yellow card for Bologna. Well, that was a very stupid challenger by Verdi. But at least, it was a tactical foul from Verdi. And, when you do pick up yellow cards like that, I wouldn't really mind for Milan. But what Paletta did, not to get back to the incident over and over again, but the first yellow card was absolutely useless. There was no need for that. Absolutely no need for that. And just look at the situation we put ourselves into.
Yeah, it's a domino effect, is it not? It's one little thing that leads to another, and it's these small little mistakes that at the end of the day, we end up leaving the field with nothing.
And I completely agree. I think it's these little details at times that just change the course of games for Milan. Like we've seen against Sampdoria, one giveaway, one penalty shot, that's all it took to change the game.
And go up here, we're going to be in a world of trouble. If they go up a goal here, we're really not going to take anything out of this game. I don't feel like we need to get this goal.
It's absolutely sad. It's absolutely sad not to see Milan really, because this is a game where we should be getting chances. I'm not saying every minute, but we should be creating a lot of chances. And I'm not quite sure how Milan will be deployed going forward. But chances are that we won't be seeing too much attacking mindset from this team now because we are playing with a man down.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment on that caller that came in and said we need Gattuso's on the field, and
I
agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That having that kind of a figure in the locker room. I mean, I believe that Gattuso would have went in that locker room at halftime and slapped every one of them in the face and said, "Wake up, because you know what, this is not going to work." So I agree with that. I think that we need to have more of that mentality, more of that fighting spirit. Like, hey, you know what, we're Milan, and we need to go win these games. These are the games that we need to show. And you know what, even if we don't win, okay, even if we don't win, we've got to show that we gave it everything to win. And right now, I'm not seeing that.
Now, a lot of people are mentioning the comments regarding Bonaventura. They're all saying this just shows how important a guy like Bonaventura is to this team. This just shows really how bad of an injury he got. Because the team pretty much turned upside down after his injury. I think I agree with that. You know, I think Bonaventura is one of those players that adds that little spark to the team, or should I say a big spark to the team like Milan. And honestly speaking, it's just a different game altogether when Bonaventura plays. He's capable of bringing the ball forward. He's capable of creating chances. We all know what he's capable of. And I think we're definitely missing a guy like him in these types of games. Unfortunately, every game that we played without him, we all saw the difficulties we had. And I'm not just saying that with Deulofeu not capable of, you know, what a chance that was for Bologna. I think it was offside. But that was a very nice through ball put on.
Yeah,
it was definitely offside.
Presence is definitely, Bonaventura's presence is definitely felt when he's on the field. He just things just run a lot smoother and more fluid when he's there. And the creative outlets, I mean, even Suso, he doesn't look as sharp without Bonaventura working on that opposite flank.
Yeah, that's also another observation I was actually looking at. We all know how many times Suso and Bonaventura linked between each other in the season. How many times have we seen him, one getting the assist, the other getting the goal? Here's Deulofeu complaining about something. I don't know what it is. I think he's complaining that the ball didn't go out. But just to get back on that, once again, Zapata, every pass he does, it's always a long ball. And, you know, this just reminds me of the Milan of a few years ago. Always long balls. Remember Montolivo always doing those long balls and they would never get to anywhere? And now Gustavo Gomez seems to have a problem with his shoulder. Hopefully he's not going to be out as well. But it seems to have maybe a dislocated shoulder for Gustavo Gomez. I can't believe what is happening today. I honestly can't believe what's happening today with all these injuries and problems. And they're all going to the defenders.
I know, this is incredible. We're going to have to get the defenders from the Primavera soon because these guys are all going down like pins.
And Montella can't even believe it himself. You know, he's huffing and puffing around. He's turning around. He's like, I can't believe this. And this is just a disaster. It's a tragedy. It's just a disaster.
It's one after another. And Gustavo Gomez doesn't, I mean, you know, when these kind of players go down, when we're in the lead, when the team is in the lead in the 80th minute, usually they end up being nothing. But, I mean, the 51st minute and the game's 0-0 and we've got to, you know, and everybody knows we've got to win. I don't think this is not faking it. I think there's some problem here.
Oh, definitely not. I just hope that it's nothing too serious because that would mean no more substitutions from now on until the end of the game. And we're already with one man less. Knock on wood, another injury happens. You know, you're forced to play with even less man. Meanwhile, another yellow card to Milan, this time to Kuchka. And it's just a pile up of bad moments right now for Milan. Injuries, yellow cards. And this is against Bologna. Let's remind ourselves, guys. This is against Bologna. Shooting ourselves in the feet against Bologna. Like, to me, it's unexplainable. It's unexplainable.
Yeah. Yeah, well said.
Franco says this game has summed up Milan in the past couple of years. I think I could completely agree with you. I just hope that it's nothing serious about Gomez. Who will possibly replace him anyways?
Yeah, that was my next question to you. I didn't look at the bench really, but I mean, those are all our center backs: Zapata, Gomez, Romagnoli, and Paletta.
Well, Romagnoli and Paletta are out. We're playing our third and fourth option center backs at the moment.
Right.
I don't think there's anyone left. Unless
what's this formation we're looking like here?
Oh, the formation looks like a big disaster too. I simply cannot understand it. I think it's a 4-4-1. I think that's what Milan's playing, a 4-4-1 at the moment, from the looks of it. All I'm saying is one goal here, and it's pretty much game over. And there was a big chance for Bologna, which luckily finds a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick. But that's just awful defending as well. Take a look at that. How was he capable of crossing that in? How was he capable of crossing that in? It's I don't know if it's something with the physique. We're not physical enough. I don't know what it is, but
I don't know. But Vanjoni hasn't played too many minutes, so for him to lose, I mean, he's a small guy too. He's not very strong. He doesn't look like he has a lot of strength in him. But to be beat with pace like that, 53 minutes into the game, to me is unacceptable.
You know, as my brother would normally say in these types of games where everything is going wrong for us, you just need a moment of brilliance in these games, and all it is, it's hopefully you get a set piece, maybe in front of the box or a penalty shot. To be honest with you, these are the type of games that I will be looking for those solutions to win games. That's all it takes, and you need to get out of that situation. And the only way you can do that, what a tackle that was by Vanjoni! Wow, what work rate that was! Wow, look at that. You're gonna probably see it soon there. Vanjoni did a beautiful tackle. That's exactly the type of work rate we need from him. Deulofeu, finally a shot on target from Deulofeu, but
yeah, that was good. He won the ball well there, Vanjoni.
Yeah, he did very well. That's exactly what we need. And did you see that fighting attitude that we were talking about all along? You know, that's what we need from Vanjoni, and not only Vanjoni, from the rest of the players, from Milan in general. That's exactly what we need.
Man, again, Deulofeu was a little too predictable for me. I wish Baca would have made a better run to give him an option.
And once again,
yeah, he cut inside, but he cut inside on the right.
Well, we all know what's gonna happen with Baca there. You know, he's not gonna be able to make any runs. We've seen that over and over again.
I just want him to get a chance because he's a good finisher when he has a chance. I mean, if he was given the opportunity that Lapadula was given, I believe inside that he would have finished it. Not to say Lapadula's not good enough and give Viviano credit still, but I mean, he doesn't put himself in these positions to show your talent.
Well, that goes back to the thing that I've always said about Baca. He's too static for my liking. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's too stationary. I don't know what it is, but he needs to be more. He needs to move around more. You know, you're a striker. You need to be a bit more of a wandering type of player. You cannot just stay in one spot and hoping for the best.
Yeah. And I know we've only got one red card right now, but I feel like we've got two with missing Romagnoli. His presence his absence is really felt.
Definitely. I think, once again, injuries, suspensions, Bonaventura not being there. These are all things that pile up for a team that doesn't have all the quality in the world like Milan. Let's be honest with each other.
Yeah, I mean, even coming off the bench, I mean, you're missing somebody like Higuain. Okay, you get Mandzukic. You're missing somebody like Barzagli, you get Rugani. I mean, that's the depth that we need.
Well, this goes back to the whole conversation we've had over the course of the past 2 months regarding depth with Milan, because simply we could all tell the problem, and that is depth. Because take a look at the bench. We all knew at the beginning of the season that we didn't have a very stable bench, a bench with players that were capable to come on and replace the qualities of the players that are on that starting 11. And if you take a look at the first half of the season, more times than not, the lineup was pretty was always the same. There weren't many changes, you know, from game in to game out. There weren't too many changes.
That's part of the problem when you only have 14 good reliable players. You come to this part of the season. I think we talked about it at some point in January, Joe.
Yeah.
On one of the Skype calls that. This is what I fear the lack of depth and I fear the lack of quality when these guys step on the field. We can't continuously play Bonaventura, Kuchka, I mean Donnarumma maybe, but even Romagnoli, they're not robots.
I think there's another red card to Milan. Yeah, there is. Kuchka is off. God almighty. Suso cannot believe it himself. Another red card too. This is a disaster. This has to be a joke.
Yeah, what are we doing? We're losing our heads.
Kuchka with a... At the moment, I think we are the team with the most red cards. I honestly think we're the team with the most red cards in the Serie A. Just to be honest, Kushka, all he did was stick his foot out there, and once again, I hate to say it, but you know, these are things that you're just getting free cards, because Kuchka, all he did was stick his foot there. He didn't even. It's a lazy foul. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a lazy foul.
Yeah.
It's a very, very lazy foul.
Totally preventable.
At the same time, I think this ref has to have a bit of mercy for Milan. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I was thinking too. I mean, like, yeah, every foul is a card.
This is ridiculous. You know, it's just too much right now. Suso, Bacca, everyone just speaking with the referee, but this is just embarrassing. This is just embarrassing. From not just one view, from many perspectives. And at
are beating themselves.
Yeah, it's the case over and over again, you know, and I don't know what.
Again, we're missing Paletta and Kuchka now on Monday. Great.
Yeah, and maybe even Romagnoli. Just imagine the situation we put ourselves in because of this freaking game. A game that was supposed to take place in December has caused all kinds of disasters for us. Just imagine that.
And I believe that they do get suspended obviously for the next one because
definitely.
Like what, 17 or 18 fixture. What is this?
It's the 18th. Yeah, it's the 18th. But it's just incredible. Now Milan's gonna have to sit all back, 2 red cards for half an hour in a game that they had to win. I have no explanation. I have no words. I'm speechless. I have no words at all for this. No words at all. Bologna is just gonna be creating chance after chance now. All I'm hoping is that Bologna hopefully get a red card or something like it. Bacca there once again with the ball and he loses it. That's exactly what I mean from Bacca. And at this point we can't even throw too many men forward because we know that Bologna has so much of an advantage over us with men.
Yeah, the numerical advantage, exactly. Now we're completely outnumbered with
I think if we actually manage to win this game somehow, it's gonna be a true miracle. Somehow. And that's exactly goes back to the thing I was saying before, you know. These are the type of games where you need something to go in your favor. And you just take it and you go home.
Thank God we're not playing a team with a with a lot of quality, excuse me.
Well,
because if this was a team with just a little bit more quality than Bologna, we would be down.
Not to cut you off there, Pietro, but the final substitution is being made, and Poli is being thrown on for Bacca. So now we're playing with no strikers unless Delufeo is going to be playing as a striker or something.
Okay, that's confirmation that Montella's looking to draw this game. He wants a point.
Yeah, he definitely knows that. Definitely knows that he's not going to go for anything else. And I'm actually curious to how he's going to even play this team. What I'm thinking is it's probably going to be a 4-4. He's going to be playing a 4-4?
Yeah,
or
no kidding, right? Yeah, we're missing 2.
I don't see any other option, to be honest.
We're going to be the Bologna. Everybody behind the
ball. Yeah, we're going to be the Bologna right now. Unless he's going to play a 4-3-1, but I doubt it. From the looks of it, I think he's going to be playing a 4-4. At the moment, the best thing that could happen for us is Bologna if they get a red card. That's the best thing that could happen for us.
Right.
The only guys that could score goals on this pitch at the moment for Milan are Delufeo and Suso.
Yeah, I can't see anybody else bagging a goal. No way.
Well, I think Poli did a good job there from Poli to win himself a free kick, and I wouldn't say in a promising position, but
Poli, man, that's a frustrating player for me.
Yeah,
he got so much. He's got all the heart and lacking the skill.
That's very true. We all recall
take some of his heart and put it in some of the other players.
We could all recall the slip he had in the San Siro. I don't know if you remember that one, but or he tripped over himself or something.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But he's actually won us a free kick, so like I said, you know, it's these moments that we need. Let's see if we get anything out of it.
Maybe that's what Montella was thinking. You know, bring him in to work hard.
Yeah, maybe that. I guess that's the only substitution he could have possibly made right now. And would you look at that? Oh, it's a foul, but I thought it was gonna be. It's a foul on the Bologna defender. They got a player down at the moment, but if it wasn't a foul, it would have been a corner for Milan. Some people are actually saying Poli wonder goal incoming. Okay.
Right.
Let's hope so. Really, at this point, even Donnarumma could score for all I care.
Scored.
That's it. For all I care, you know, all I care about is the 3 points.
If we could pull out, if we could somehow get.
What a save, Donnarumma! What a save, Donnarumma! Wow, that a goal written all over it. Pietro, you're gonna take a look at this. What a save, Donnarumma, to keep his team in it.
Haven't got there yet, but yeah, it looks like it's coming here.
Wow.
Oh my God, miracle.
What a save, Donnarumma. If that doesn't go down in the top 5 saves of the year, then honestly speaking, I don't know what will. From point blank range, saving it like that.
We'd be fighting for Serie B if it wasn't for this kid.
I completely agree. And, you know, same thing goes from the story of last season, you know. How many times did he... What a save. What a save. Looking at the replay again. Unbelievable save. And you know, putting all the responsibility on a 17-year-old, soon-to-be 18-year-old goalkeeper at this stage of the game, you know. Under pressure like that. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. His position was all there. It was really all there.
That's incredible.
Incredible save.
Yeah, that we should be down right here.
Someone just made... Oh man. Listen to this statistic. We have more red cards than points in 2017. That's absolutely sad. That's absolutely sad.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. I don't know if I should be crying or laughing about this whole thing.
I have a red card statistic myself. At halftime, I was watching the halftime show here, and they're talking about Paletta has more red cards than anybody else in the top 5 leagues in Europe. Of course, that would be Milan.
Of course. No other choice. Guys, don't forget to leave a like on the video. We're about 20 likes away from reaching our target. I'm pretty sure we could reach that before the end of the live stream, the end of the game. So if you haven't yet, please leave a like and also subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with daily videos on our channel, daily AC Milan videos. So
miracles do happen, Gio. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff. So, I mean,
we definitely have. But from what I'm seeing right now, in terms of formation, when defending, Milan's playing sort of 4-3-1. A 4-3-1. Deulofeu with the speed. He wins himself a corner. That's exactly what Milan's going to be doing now. They're playing a 4-3-1 from what I saw there in that formation when defending. And they're just going to be feeding Deulofeu now and pretty much using his speed to get something. That's pretty much Milan's tactic at the moment. And really, you can't blame them. There's no other explanation. There's no other question they can't do anything about right now. I mean, that's pretty much the only style they could play. They can't play possession or anything.
Yeah, we got to be careful here on these set pieces too, that we don't get a quick counter because we can lose this game easily.
Completely agree with you as well, because you know, we can't throw too many men forward. We are down 2 men. That could pose a lot of problems here. But what did you make of Vangioni's game so far? Oh, here's a big chance! What a save from Da Costa on Pasalic. That was it. That was the chance we needed. Pasalic with 2 misses in this game. He should have scored on both occasions, in my opinion.
Great turn from Deulofeu to start that run, and then good eye to see him. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How didn't he put this in the back of the net?
Why was he playing to the first post? I mean, that ball should have been to the far post on the ground.
Well, that's the thing. Look, straight. I mean, yeah, take a look at the replay. The angle wasn't the best, but straight to his face, you know, straight to the hands of the goalkeeper. These are the chances you have to put in the back of the net. We said at the beginning of the game, Pietro, you know, those chances that we had to be goals. And they weren't.
If you're a team that I mean, look at the runners at the far post. You got Foley and Suso waiting for the ball too.
Mm-hmm.
A team that creates 4 chances a game, you better get one of those chances to be a goal.
Exactly. And if you took a look at that set piece, I think this was the first time this game where we crossed it to the second post.
Unbelievable. That was an easy tap in for Foley right there, and Suso at the far post.
Yeah, completely agree with you.
If the angle was that tight, his second option was pass that ball, and I'm surprised he didn't.
Oh, here's a big chance. Vangioni coming to the rescue here again. I think it was offside. But Vangioni, you know, I was just asking you about him before. I think he's really been one of the best players. Did that hit the bar on the... Let me see this again. That hit the bar. Deulofeu's corner hit the bar. It wasn't even...
Really?
Yeah, it hit the bar. Wasn't even a save. I thought the goalkeeper palmed it out. But it was actually off the bar from the corner kick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Any other...
What a goal that would have been, eh?
If we don't have bad luck, we have no luck at all.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
This is crazy.
But I'm really, really happy with what Vangioni has shown this game. Really, I think...
Yeah, he's proven that he could be a good backup. I think so too. I think he's done enough to show me. I don't think he's better than Deschio or Antonelli on that side, but I think he's done enough to merit a backup position. I think he should be considered instead of you know, changing up the lineup and putting our center back as our left back. I think that was a mistake, and I think that confirmed it today.
Yeah, and not to cut you off there, as soon as I spoke good about him, he picked himself a yellow card. But
I just saw that.
Yeah, but once again, not to speak about the referee, but I think he's been I don't know, man. I think he's been giving cards way too fast and way too easily today. I could agree on some challenges, maybe they were yellow cards, but this referee is really handing them out like gifts today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's quick to pull those cards out. He's not even considering, hey, this is the guy's first foul.
Completely agree with you, and it was his first foul. He was even saying it, you know, it's my first foul. How could it be a yellow card already? And it seems like this ref wants nothing to do with it. At the same time, Bologna is they're not giving them any yellow cards too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they picked up too many.
I think they have 2 or 3, but really a red card to them would be quite a good starting point for Milan to start moving the ball around more. But as we know, the more players get sent off, the more space these players will find. So we're gonna be seeing end-to-end stuff. But Deulofeu has really been doing he really did a lot of running this game. Of course.
Yeah, he has worked hard.
Under the circumstances that we've been put under, he had to do that.
What do you think, Gio? Do we throw men forward and go for the win, or do you play conservative here and pick up the point and go home with what you have?
Well, that's exactly what Milan are showing at the moment. Wow, that was another big risk there from Bologna. That's exactly what Milan are showing at the moment. You know, they're kind of playing a 4-3-1, and I think they still want to get something out of this match. They're still trying to feed Deulofeu sometimes to use his speed, and hopefully he could have a breakthrough and you know, get something on target. That's exactly what I'm seeing from Milan at the moment. This is the style that they're playing. They're playing defensively, but they're only defending with 7 men, leaving Deulofeu up front in the hope of playing him a great ball.
Yeah, through on goal or something.
That's it.
We should have never been in this position.
Never.
I mean,
That's exactly what I'm saying. We should have never put ourselves in this position, and I think they'll fail us to be careful with how he conserves his energy now, because you know, he can't just be running all the time. He needs to conserve his energy if that's the type of style that they're willing to play.
And you know what bothers me too is that now that we're down a man, it changes the complete way you approach this match now for the rest of the game. Now, since Paletta went off, now we can't implement what Montella was trying to get through to them in the training midweek. You know, they're not able to show what they really can do because now they've got to alter their formation and alter their mindset.
Now, Marv Diaz is saying, Joe, can you talk about the player performances? I just got here and I want to know how they have done. I'll be speaking all about those player performances in the post-match review, so make sure not to miss that. This is a message for everyone. As usual, we do have a post-match review following this live stream, and if you guys didn't get a chance to speak on Skype or share your thoughts on Skype, this is a big chance for you guys to do so as well. The Skype username is Rossoneri TV if you're interested. But talking about the player performances, I'll be speaking about that in the match review. Some people are saying draw will be an okay result for Milan. Do you agree with this?
I mean, if you look at, just because of our recent form, I mean, I guess we have to take a draw because of these, you know, the two Reds, you know, being down to 9 men, and in the 75th minute away from home, I guess a draw would be it'd be the right thing to say. But honestly, I'm feeling greedy right now. I think anything less than 3 points, even with these 2 men out, I think anything less than 3 points for me is a failure.
Well, I think, you know, a failure, like you said, I say it's a failure as well, because this was a game that we had to win from the get-go. And yeah, like, considering, let alone the sending offs, the injuries and so forth, this was a game that we had to win from the first minute, and we did have the chances to win it from the first minute. Once again, our finishing has been awful, and we simply haven't been able to just score a goal. And this goes back to the thing that I said before. Napoli were capable of scoring 7 against them. Why can't we score at least 1 or 2 goals? It just absolutely makes no sense.
Right, I think we have enough quality to be putting, you know, 1 or 2 goals away against Bologna for sure. If we can't put 2 goals or 1 goal against Bologna away, how are we gonna ever even dream of Europe?
Completely agree with you. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, it's not just about Bologna. You know, it's a run of games where we were incapable of getting goals. Just a run of games. Even Sampdoria, and look, against Sampdoria we were incapable of scoring. That's going to be 2 games in a row without any goals from Milan. Then you take a look at Udinese, we got a goal there. Against Napoli, we only got a goal there. Really,
look who was on the field. Udinese. Bonaventura goes and grabs a goal. Shocker, right?
Yeah, exactly. Out of all players, Bonaventura was the guy that got us the last goal that we scored. Sad to say, but that's true. That's the truth. Bonaventura, the guy that's out for the season, got us our last goal so far. There's going to be a substitution for Bologna. I think Torosidis is coming on for Mbaye. Kaun says, if I weren't a Milan fan, I will turn on my TV and laugh my ass off every time.
I'm a Milan fan, and almost I can agree. I don't know how we stay in these matches. I don't even know how we're still 0-0 here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You know, how is it still 0-0 and Bologna haven't been capable of scoring? To be honest with you, any other team would have at least scored 2 goals already. And this just proves to show, you know, the quality of the team from Bologna is not good. It's not a good quality team. They're not capable of getting results every week. So just imagine, that's another rash challenge there from Milan. And they have to be careful. You know, Poli this time, he could have gone in the book as well. The referee graced him, but Poli is out. Poli is out. Poli is out.
He got sent off?
No, he's injured. I think he's injured. He's out. He's out for the game. So we're gonna be playing with a man less again, because we have no more substitutions. Honestly, guys, I have no words. I have no words for what's happening. I want to cry, but I'm laughing at the same time. That's how ridiculous the whole situation really is. Like, did you ever see a team, any other team in world football, like that it happened to them, like something like this?
This is unbelievable. I can't believe my eyes. I don't know. We're dropping like pins. Like seriously.
I don't know if I have to laugh or cry, to be honest with you.
Did Bully injure himself? What
Well,
happened there? I'm not showing the replay.
Even Montela's like sarcastically laughing on the side. He can't believe it himself. I've never seen a game where we got like 3 injuries, 2 sending offs. Like, what is this? Man, if Bologna can score, honestly, they're just the worst team on earth. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is incredible. And like you said, Montela's sarcastic laugh there. Like what else can you do? I mean, and then the people blame Montella. How do you blame Montella on this? Montella's not to blame for the red cards. Montella's not to blame for a lot of this. I can't blame Montella.
Yeah, Bully's gonna come off. Bully's gonna have to come off. He can't even walk. I don't know if they're gonna keep him on the pitch, but Bully's done. He's dead. He's done. He's done. They're gonna wrap his leg up, but I really don't think that he could continue playing.
He picked up a knock on the knee. Was that what it was?
Yeah, he's actually going back to play, but I don't think he could play. I think he's just gonna be staying on the pitch. He's limping. He's limping at the moment. He's currently limping on the pitch. I think they're just keeping him on to have a man on the pitch. But to be honest, one clash, one tackle, this guy is gonna be out for the season.
Yeah.
I've honestly never seen anything like this.
This is like comical. I agree.
It's to the point where, you know, someone could make a movie out of it.
I bet you the majority of Italy is laughing too.
Probably, but like I was saying before, have you ever seen any other team that this had to happen to them? Like, I've never seen something like this. It's just beyond ridiculous. And at this moment, like, I could definitely be happy with a draw. Like,
yeah, you know what? I'm with you now. Now for sure, if we're gonna be missing both,
think about the situation. Think about the situation. It's.
Considering the circumstances, yeah, a draw is right, but I mean, a draw is good, but I mean, considering we came in here,
yeah,
expecting the 3 points, and now we're faced with this situation. Now we're hoping for a draw is pathetic.
I think that Bologna will be banging their heads on the wall if they can't get anything out of it. To be honest, this was a big opportunity for them to get back in it. You know, like after that disappointing result against Napoli.
Yeah.
And this was a big chance for them to get back into it. So like I said, if I were Bologna and I wouldn't be able to get anything out of this, I would be completely disappointed with it, with the result of the game.
Is that Poli on the field?
Yeah, Poli's actually running, the guy. The guy's actually running. I can't believe it.
Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing to the crowd. Did you see that?
Yeah, but he's like he's limping, and I can't believe it. You know, it's like I said, it's almost ridiculous to watch. At this point, you can definitely tell that Milan's going for the draw. There's honestly nothing else that Milan could do.
Yeah, these guys are spent. They've been overrun.
I'm curious to see what Montella's going to have to say after that. Well, he's obviously going to blame it on the suspensions and the injuries. But, yeah, in games like this, I totally agree with you. There's nothing you can do for Montella. There's, you know, you can't. The only thing I can maybe tell him is about him starting Lapadula from the first minute. Maybe that could have changed something. But besides that, you know, you can't really blame him for anything else for this game.
You know, we only saw like 2 or 3 games where Lapadula started consistently. I want to see more of that. I feel like if we would have kept with him, and of course this is a gamble, but if we would have kept with him, I think we would have seen, and he would have been able to develop into a better striker than he is already, and begin to, how do you say this? Begin to, get some chemistry with his teammates.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also wanted to speak about something else with you, Pietro. Now I lost my thought of my run of thought for a bit, but I'll get back to you with that one. Dimitri says, guys, I honestly think that if the old players in their mid-40s come back, they will somehow score against this Bologna side.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I think if Montella would step on the pitch, he would get a goal.
He puts on his jersey and everything and starts playing for them.
Yeah.
Something like Gattuso was doing at what was that team? I forgot.
He's coaching for Palermo, or he was coaching for Palermo and Pisa.
I think like when he was coaching in Switzerland, he was doing a player coach type of thing.
Right.
Oh well, we had a little chance there with Deulofeu bringing it to the middle, but that was a very good tackle there from Bologna. But speaking about Lapadula, I certainly agree with the fact that he needs more chances to play, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I just remembered Zapata with a very reckless challenge there. It's going to be a free kick to Bologna. Zapata, once again, you cannot go in like this. Abate telling off the referee face to face. Abate is already on a yellow card. He's really risking a sending off, but he's really face to face with the referee. Zapata, I didn't really see a close-up challenge of it, but that was a very, 50-50 challenge in my opinion. I hate to see it again. I'm going to see it right now.
Wow, Zapata's heated.
Yeah, well, he didn't initially get the ball, but I think what it was is that the leg was there and the player tripped over it, so I guess that's the case that the referee is making. Montella is telling the fourth man, I can't take it anymore. And what should we say, right? What should we say from home? We're watching this in disgust. But there's a very big chance here for Bologna. I'm going to be speaking about Lapadula in just a second. What a chance that was. Thankfully, he goes wide. But finally, yeah, Lapadula, some guy that was called before. I don't know if you heard Pietro, but he was saying Milan don't want to really bench Bacca because they will have this bad image of spending too much on wages and having a guy on the bench. But this is professional football. You cannot think about paying a guy in wages. You can pay a guy God knows how much in wages, but if he doesn't perform, why should he be starting every game? Why should he be hurting the team's performances? To me, it shouldn't be a case of how much the guy makes in order to start. If someone else deserves it, if someone shows more desire, more motivation than you, and you get to play less than you, it shouldn't be because you make more on wages that you should be starting games. At least that's my take on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I kind of fear that may be the truth, because look at Montolivo. I was looking at the salaries the other day, actually 2 days ago. I was looking at Milan's salaries, and Montolivo was one of the higher paid players. The way that they structured the team. Remember Luis Adriano? He was making like $3 million a year. Bacca $3.5 million. Luis Adriano playing, an hour of I'm exaggerating, but an hour of football a year, and this guy's making 3 million euros a season. And then Bonaventura, you got making $1 million until he got the contract upgrade. It's just a joke.
It is a complete joke. Like I said, I just believe if a player deserves it, if a player deserves to play due to his performance, he should be the one starting, and there shouldn't be a case of how much you're making in order to start games. You can be making God knows how much and you don't score in 10 games. Does that mean that you should be still starting games over someone that comes in and scores goals or at least performs better than you? That's the case I'm making.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're paying him for his wages. It doesn't matter. It's players that should be playing, not the names of the
Yes! It's 1-0, a goal out of nowhere! I can't believe it! It's a goal out of nowhere for Pasalic! I can't believe my eyes! A goal out of nowhere, but what a play from Deulofeu! And this is exactly what I was talking about. All Deulofeu on that. A goal out of nowhere. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I'm absolutely shocked. I'm in shock. I can't believe that. I think I've seen it all. I think I've seen it all. I've seen it all. What a play from Deulofeu. What? Thank God. See, that's exactly what Bacca should be doing there. That's exactly what Bacca should be doing there. Those run-ins. Pasalic did it this time.
Great work. I mean, yeah, good for Pasalic, but great work from Deulofeu. What work was that?
What work was that? It really was a tremendous workload there from Deulofeu, and we did speak about it. The 4-3-1, and we did say that they were just going to be playing Deulofeu in the hope of finding something. He did all the work on that side, and Pasalic came in at the right place at the right time. Put in the back of the net. It was his third chance a day. He missed 2 big chances. On his third one, he finally got it right. And now Milan are sitting with the 3 points in their hand with 9 men on the...
Game, this is the most ridiculous victory I've ever seen it. Not just with Milan, but in professional.
And look at Poli. Look at Poli in this grid. He's literally telling the fans, like, come on. Like, he's just screaming to the fans at the moment. Well... Now, here's a question to you, Pietro. Which loss hurts the most? This one or the Napoli one for Bologna?
Oh my God! If I were Bologna, it would be this loss. This is a joke. I mean, how you're down 10 men? I mean, I'm sorry, 9 men. The opposition's down 9 men. You're at home, and you can't even hold a draw. This is, I don't know which is more embarrassing, for Milan or for Bologna right now.
I think they'll be having suicidal thoughts after this game, to be honest with you. Like, I can't even explain it.
Oh my God.
This is beyond ridiculous, to be honest.
Can you imagine this being a turning point, though? Everything is going wrong for 90 minutes, and we get a goal, and somehow this could give us a spark. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter how you win, but winning is winning. And if we can build on this for Monday and, get somehow Romagnoli back...
Oh man, this honestly, if we do end up getting the 3 points, I'll be forever grateful to Deulofeu. This is just insane. The turnaround of what we've seen, and we were speaking about it. Just imagine we get something out of this,
Yeah, I mean, because they weren't again. Bologna, same case as us. You don't finish your chances, you end up paying for them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And I think Bologna had a good share of chances today, and so did Milan. But
this is not a tactical setup like we wanted to see in a fluid movement. This is just such a sloppy game. I feel like I'm watching high school kids in freshman year.
That's exactly it. But this goes back to the analysis we were making at the beginning of the game, even before the match started. If we're capable of getting the win, no matter how, that should be a yellow card for Bologna. Yeah, it is. It is a yellow card to Bologna. Very good run there once again from Pasalic.
We got to be smart here. We got to play smart. If we end up conceding here, this would be a disaster.
Well, this is the thing. There's 3 minutes left, and what it is right now, it's to keep the ball as close to the flag as possible. Get some deflections. Exactly. Just keep it in an area where it's out of the danger zone. That's really what Milan has to do at the moment.
Yeah. No, agreed 100%. I think this ref is card happy though.
Oh yeah, he really is. I mean, that was definitely a yellow card to Bologna, no doubt about it. But
he was on through. But this game in general.
Yeah, in general, I just can't wrap my head around what this ref really did.
This is incredible. I wonder what's going to be said I want to know what the players in Montella has to say after this game. Like, what do you say about this?
Well, to be honest with you, my thoughts are that they're definitely going to be speaking something about the ref because, like I said, the Milan's red cards were definitely fouls. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that the players dove to gain an advantage here, but sorry, I was just looking at the action there. But, definitely something has to be said because you cannot just go ahead and start sending yellow cards for every little foul that you do, It's a repetition of what this ref really did today. It was a repetition. Over and over again, he kept giving yellow cards like gifts, like real gifts today.
Every now and then you get one of these guys in the World Cup too.
Yeah,
You watch,
yeah.
the World Cup. They bring in refs from all over the world, and they try to diversify the referee and the nationality, and then they get stuff like this. There's always these refs that go crazy with the cards, and it ruins the matches. It takes away from the game.
Now Bologna is gonna have a corner kick at this moment. Abate once again very, very frustrated with the referee, seeing that it hit off the Bologna player. Da Costa, the goalkeeper, is also up.
Yeah, Abate's not getting his way today.
No, a good clearance there from Milan. Wow, this is honestly a mess. It's honestly a mess. Players are falling everywhere. Like you said, I really think that this looks like a high school game. It really looks like a high school game. Players like they're playing amateur football today. Just flying everywhere, fouls continuously done. I don't know what it is. But Zemaivi just got in the book as well.
When we said we'll take the 3 points, however, you're ugly. This is as ugly as they come.
No, but Pietro, think of it. I think I've seen it all this season. I honestly think I've seen it all this season. From Milan winning the Supercoppa, from Milan winning the Supercoppa and penalties, from late turnarounds to games like this where we had like half our team injured and half our team suspended. And there it is! The final whistle is in! Milan win it in unbelievable circumstances. Donadoni can't believe it himself. Oh my god. Honestly, I don't know what to make out of this game, guys. I think it's honestly one of the most ridiculous games I've ever seen in my life. But props to Delufeo and for his hard work today. I think really props to all the players, because besides the ones that got sent off and the ones that got injured, I think they really put each other together. I'm not saying they were all believing that we were going to get a win today, but I think the group, the collectiveness from the group was pretty evident, especially in those last 20 minutes.
Crazy, Joe.
Honestly, I have no words. I'm speechless, guys, but we'll speak all about it in the post-match review in just a few moments' time, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'll be putting the link up very, very soon. Pietro, thank you so much for joining me. Honestly, it was a pleasure.
Of course, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Definitely, and I can't wait for more games to have you along. This definitely works out very well, and I like the new system that we got going here.
Right on, Gio. Thanks for having me, and everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thank you so much again, Pietro. I'll be seeing you guys in just a few moments here on Rossoneri TV. Final score: AC Milan 1, Bologna 0.